Hey guys, I'm Val.
And I'm Luke.
And this is Raw Crimes, your new favorite podcast.
We're sitting down every week and diving into some of the craziest known and unknown cases true crime has.
So settle in, grab a drink, and join us.
Oh my god, Val. What's new in your life? What have you gotten? You've got a sparkle in your eye. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Come on.
Oh my god.
I love having the power to like just click record and you never know when we're actually going to record. But like, so what's new in your life? What did we do the other day? We had a full day yesterday.
Yeah, we had a really big day.
I mean,
It was mostly so big because we had to do so much to do it.
like, imagine what our day would have been like if we just had a truck or a van to do all of that.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have had to bike twice, as well as rent a U-Haul van.
And forget our masks.
Oh, yeah. God, that sucked. Wear your mask.
Yeah. So we went to IKEA, and it took like 5 steps to get to actually be able to do it.
All right. Let's tell the story. Let's tell the story of how we got to IKEA. So we live in Washington, D.C., and we don't own a car currently. Even though parking is pretty good in D.C., it's pretty easy to. It's understandable. You just have to get like a D.C. license plate.
D.C. plates,
and we'd be parking in Zone 2. You know, the high-end neighborhood. I'm just kidding. But so that means we have to rent the Capital bikes. Is that what they're called?
Capital Bike Share, like that's what the brand name is, and it's like you rent a bike, and if it's less than 30 minutes, it's $1. If it's more, it's like $2, $4, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, well, if it's more than 30 minutes, it's like $7.
Oh, it's something like that.
That's
yeah.
how much it was the first time we did it. But if you ride the bike for under 30 minutes, it's just $1. So we had to hustle, even though it was just like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
So we just was it in Washington or was it in Maryland, the U-Haul place?
No, the U-Haul place was in DC. It was in like the it was by like Capitol Hill, like on K Street. It's like
I'm just a bill.
It's like
on Capitol Hill.
It's like 2 miles away, so that wasn't bad, but we had to get there, and then I had rented a U-Haul truck for the day for like 4 hours, and we had to go
exciting.
Pick that up to take it to IKEA.
God. That's a story on its own about renting the U-Haul truck. She rented, like she reserved it online for 11 a.m. for 3 hours to 2 p.m. And then when we got there, they were very nice, and the lady behind the counter was like, when do you you need it for 3 hours? And she's like, we're here at 11:30. I know. Could we like change it to 11:30? She's like, just return it by 4 and we're all good.
I was like, I just wanted to ask if it was like an extra charge. And I was like, how much would it be if we returned it later? Like, can we add an hour on? And she was like, I guess her boss or her coworker or someone was walking right like behind her. And she was like, that'll be 9,630 minutes.
I knew she was joking right away.
Yeah, but it just caught me by surprise. And then the guy was like, he's like, what? I can own my own truck for that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah. So we ended up getting the U-Haul truck. It was a beautiful van. Only had 5,800 miles on it, but so we drove
Took us like 5 minutes to get the parking brake off.
Yeah. No, the parking brake was impossible to get down. We had to call the guy back over, but we drove it to Maryland to the IKEA, and we just spent like an hour and a half in IKEA. It's a wonderful experience if you've ever gone there.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Except we went the wrong way. Way.
Yeah. There are lights on the floor with arrows pointing in the direction, and during COVID and everything, you kind of want to make sure you're going in the path that people put down.
But we were trying to be smart. We were like, oh, we can cut across like all these people. Like we can go left instead of right. And then
even though the first place we needed to hit was the first place to the right. So we ended up going in a giant circle in this rat race.
Just circling all the way back to where we started.
It was kind of pointless because what we were doing.
Didn't see it, yeah.
Yeah, what we were doing is we wanted to see the futon that we were gonna get.
Yeah, it's like the sleeper sofa that like fully unfolds all the way out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even out on the floor. I don't think we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't in the color that we wanted because we wanted the beige, but.
Yeah, it was kind of pointless to go through all that, but we ended
up. It's still
up.
fun seeing all the rooms though, like the way they have them all designed and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's fun.
Especially the kid rooms. Oh my God, Val. I hope your parents don't listen to this.
Ew.
I'm just kidding. So we ended up just getting the new futon as well as, what is this?
Oh, it's like cabinets. It's like 2 rows of cabinets kind of, but in one. So there's like 8 compartments. Yeah. And you can place it like lengthwise or
just imagine 8 squares.
Yeah.
Like a 2x4 and it's very low to the
ground. And it's like a nice wood color. It's very pretty. We needed some extra storage.
Yeah, Iris is loving it. Like we took the mics out and Iris just instantly got into the little box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's our story about IKEA. Actually, no. Wait. Hold up.
There's more.
Hold up. Yeah. No, we didn't just instantly go from IKEA back here. But once we got everything loaded up, and this is the most ridiculous thing. So, not the most, but there's a sign in the window of the van that said like the amount that it charged for the day. It was like $19.95, so like $20. And so you had to take that off to drive, of course. And we put it in the back. And so when we were loading stuff up, I ended up putting that sign up on the roof. And I completely forgot about it. And we just drove off. So this U-Haul sign that says $19.95 on it is
probably
just
got smacked in the face.
is just chilling in an IKEA parking lot in Maryland. But we ended up going to McDonald's and we had ourselves a nice Sprite because we forgot water. So this is like
the first time in like years that
it was like 90 degrees in Swamp City, Washington, D.C.
Hot.
And we forgot to bring water.
It's like as soon as we like stopped moving and we were waiting for our furniture to be brought out, we were like, holy shit. Like, I'm dehydrated as fuck.
We got a nice I had a nice Filet-O-Fish. We got some large fries and some Sprite, had to get that. And we ended up driving back, returning the U-Haul van 2 minutes before the deadline. So
we sat in it for like 5 minutes watching this guy. Like we were in the area where you were supposed to return it, and we were just sitting there like, do we like call him over? Do we go inside to let him know that we're here? And then I called the U-Haul like website for that location, and I see the guy that's outside working like pull up like a little like little microphone like up to his mouth, and he just like answers the phone, and I was like, oh, hello.
Oh my God.
and then we finally figured it out, and we returned that, and then of course we forgot our masks.
Yeah, we forgot our masks because we had to go back to the apartment and drop off everything.
Yeah.
And we ended up leaving the masks in the apartment, and we went back to the U-Haul place. And with Lyft and Uber, they have a new policy where you have to have a mask, and you also have to do all these other things just to be able to ride.
Right. So.
Yeah, and so we couldn't call a Lyft, and we were already exhausted as fuck. So
we had to bike back.
We had to bike back in the heat, and I was like biking there to the U-Haul place. It felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a breeze. But
because that was the first thing we did that day.
Yeah.
It was at like 10 a.m., like 11 a.m., something like that. But on the way back at like 4 p.m. with the setting sun like right in our faces, oh my God. We were all sweaty and stinky already. Jeez.
Yeah.
It was rough.
But I mean, whenever you have those days, it's the best feeling to just get all clean and take a shower. We forgot to do the masks.
After we got all that, yeah.
We cleaned our faces with something that we have in the shower, but we forgot to do the hydration.
We forgot to exfoliate.
Hydration masks.
Exfoliation. So.
Exfoliation and all that. Yeah.
It's okay.
So we had ourselves a day yesterday, and we kind of just relaxed today. We made a little Mediterranean spread.
Oh, yeah. Had some hummus and homemade pita chips, and Luke made spanakopita.
I don't cook, by the way, but I make I can't even pronounce
Spanakopita.
Spanakopita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it like a Greek salad?
I didn't.
Feta cheese.
I had a little nibble on the Greek salad. All right.
Yeah, should probably get into these cases.
I'm ready for it.
Cases, I say, plural. We have 2 tonight.
I thought we only had 1.
No, we have 2. Well, because...
Story time? 29?
Okay, Schmidt. Yeah, I wanted to do 2 cases tonight because I didn't have enough time to do, like, one big... Like, I started working on a big story that I want to do for maybe next week.
Are you, like, halfway through it?
No, I'm like a quarter. I'm not even into like the actual cases. Like I'm just on this guy's background.
It could be like a 2-parter.
Yeah, it could be.
Is it a serial killer?
Yeah. Yes.
Classic. We love serial killers.
It's our first one.
I played Call of Duty with like 2 people.
Oh
named
yeah.
Serial.
Did
you hear that?
No. Well, was it when I told you?
I don't
Paul
remember.
Bernardo was a serial killer.
Oh no, that was like
different.
a few days ago.
That was different.
I was playing Call of Duty with Ted Bundy and Paul Bernardo.
It was like these 2 guys. Yeah, like there were 2 guys that you were playing with, and I like looked up at the TV, and I literally saw like 2 guys in the lobby, and one guy was Ted Bundy, and the other was Paul Bernardo. And I knew you knew Ted Bundy, but I didn't think you knew Paul Bernardo.
No, I didn't.
And I was like, Paul Bernardo was a serial killer. They must be friends.
She tapped me on the shoulder, and I had to take my headphones out, and she's like, they're serial killers.
They must be buddies.
They must be buddies. And so I told my boys, I told the squad, and don't worry, I gave Val credit. They know that I'm not the serial killer knowledge holder. Of course I knew Ted Bundy though.
Yeah.
It's like,
who doesn't at this point?
I'm buddies with a guy named Theodore Bundy. He added me on Xbox for some reason.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, we've got 2 stories. Mm-hmm. I'm ready. Sonny's ready. He's all excited.
He's like on his back on the carpet right now on the floor.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what Sonny looks like, just follow us on Instagram at raw_crimes.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Who's named after Sonny, like It's Always Sunny in Philly, because we were really into that when we got him.
And his birthday's in June.
It was the summertime.
Summer.
He's an orange cat.
And he's orange, yeah, exactly. And he's orange,
So, Sonny. Come on. Come on. And all my stuffed animals were named like Barry, Terry. They all had the E at the end. All right. Enough dancing around this shit. Let's hit it up.
All right. So, yeah, I wanted to do 2 actually missing persons cases tonight. They're not related, but I thought they were like important cases that we should talk about. And I wanted to kind of make like 2 small cases that we really don't know that much about into one episode because, again, there's not much information out there about these 2 cases, but
there's enough to tell stories.
I wanted to tell it, yeah. I didn't have time.
It's important to get it out there, like.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, like it doesn't matter if like who spreads it, like. Yeah, it just needs to be out there. And I didn't have enough for like a regular episode case because I fell behind with the research and the serial killers. So
I mean, there's a ton you want to get right.
Yeah. So tonight I wanted to cover the case of Tonee Turner, a 22-year-old artist from Pittsburgh, and Vanessa Guillén, a 20-year-old Fort Hood soldier, which has actually been in the news a lot lately. And it's part of the reason why I wanted to tell it because it is such a horrible case, but it's just right.
Just a little teaser for me at least. When was that second?
Like when did it happen?
Yeah, was it like early 2000s?
Vanessa?
Yeah.
It was April.
This year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was thinking of something else. I don't know any of these cases, by the way. I have seen the pictures of Vanessa though.
Yeah, she's been everywhere lately, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's been, like, updates have just been coming out in the past few days about it since April. So yeah. All right. So Tonee Turner. Tonee Turner was a metal fabricator at Studebaker Metals in Braddock, which is a borough of Pittsburgh, and also a ceramics teacher at Braddock Carnegie Library's Bathhouse Ceramics Studio.
Jesus, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, so it's like the Braddock Carnegie Library, and then their like art studio has a division in it. It's the Bathhouse Ceramics Studio.
Bathhouse? Are they like? It's like a Turkish bathhouse, and they're just making ceramics in the pool.
No, I think it's someone's last name, probably.
Bathhouse. What a badass last name.
It makes the most sense to me.
You know how last names were like your profession?
Yeah.
like Paul Bathhouse. Yeah.
Paul Bathhouse.
He's really good at making bathhouses. You
Oh,
know?
wait, hold on. I forgot to share this with you. I want to share it with you so you can see, because I have a bunch of pictures in here.
True.
So I need to get you in here.
Hey guys, Luke here from Raw Crimes. I wanted to take this time to tell you about something very important. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. In fact, it's what Val and I use to bring you guys the best true crime stories out there. For starters, Anchor has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more podcasting platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and the best part is, it's all free. It's everything you need to make a killer podcast, pun intended, in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Okay.
She's sharing the Google Doc.
Yes. Okay. So it's shared. Because there's some stuff that I'm going to need you to follow along on.
Of course. Of course.
Sonny's dead.
Yeah. God, I can't wait to record these things. She's going to show all the cats doing the random crap that they do.
Yeah. Iris is on the new couch on top of the pillows. She loves it so much.
Oh my God.
She loves it way more.
I wish we had taken a picture of her when we were cutting onions.
No.
Oh my God.
Luke was cutting onions for the filling, and he had to cut a whole onion. And Iris, for some reason, kept wanting to be in. Like, she always wants to be in the kitchen when we're in the kitchen because she thinks that she'll get food.
Oh my God! And she came in and she's expecting this delicious food, like this delicious shrimp gourmet dish that we always give her, but it's just the smell of onions and like the juices that are just floating in the air.
You were crying.
Yeah, no, I got blue eyes, you know? I'm all sensitive and shit. But
you had like tears rolling down your cheeks.
Yeah, but I wasn't as bad as Iris. I'm pretty sure I had snot coming down my nose too. It was nasty. But Iris, oh my God.
Her eyes were just like red. And I don't think
red
they were swole. Yeah, they were like puffy and they're closed. Like she was like closed all the way. We would like she powered through it just to be in the kitchen and in the area. And she would we would call her, we would say her name and she would look up with her like closed red eyes.
And she always has eye problems. Like nothing serious. But she just always gets shit in her eyes. Because
she goes into, like, all the corners of our apartment that has, like, dust and stuff in them. And she just,
my God.
She just gets dust in her eyes, that's all.
She's the wild child out of Sonny and Iris. Sonny is, like, the 100% cat, always reliable, always chilling. And then Iris is always freaking out, smashing her head on the... She's always she broke her tooth because she was smashing her.
I don't think we talked about that before.
No, she's just running around at night, and I'm pretty sure that's when she smacked her head on the wall and broke her tooth.
Yeah, she has.
It's just her running around. It's like Sonny standing still.
He like watches her run around, and then as soon as she when he's in the playful mood, as soon as she like stops, he like runs over, and then they start play fighting. But yeah, she has like one of her fangs. She is half a fang. And because I guess her tooth broke, and I had no idea that it happened until I took her to the vet, and because I had to get she scratched like a part of her neck, she scratched all the hair off, and it was like this lesion that she just kept scratching. And so I took her to the vet because I was like, what the heck is happening here? Like, it could be something serious. And then the vet was doing like a routine checkup. And then he like lifts up her gums to check her teeth. And he's like, oh, she has a broken tooth.
Yeah. No, it was instantly too.
Yeah, I was so confused. I did not even know that she broke a tooth.
The silver lining, though, is that it doesn't affect her. It
doesn't hurt, at least.
It like hasn't gone to the point where she feels any of it.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to remove it at some point, but
you replace it with a nice golden tooth.
No.
She's gangster. Sunrise.
He's stretching.
Whenever Sonny does like stretch.
Yeah, where it's like the classic like Halloween cat picture where it's like the cat pose, like the cat pose in yoga.
I call it sunrise. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're almost 20 minutes in. I'm ready to start the stories. I've got my blanket ready. I'm all tucked in.
Well, are you in the Google Doc?
No, I requested access from officialrawcrimes@gmail.com.
Well, okay. Well, I shared it with the thing. Okay.
Thank you.
I shared
It's almost
it
like the call-outs. No, like whenever we're playing Call of Duty.
at gmail.com.
Yeah, official raw. You don't even know the...
Oh, I know it. It's in my... I have it right here. It's in my addresses. I shared it with your personal, though.
Oh, thank you. Wonder if I just refresh it. Okay, I'm in.
All right. So Tonee Turner. Let's get started.
22?
She's young, yeah.
Oh, Tonee Turner.
Tonee Turner? What?
Okay, yeah. Tonee Turner's a female?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's Tonee, like Tonee.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Not Tony, like
Yeah.
Anthony. Or
My dad
like
dated
Tony.
a Tony.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cute name. Okay, so...
Hint, hint.
So, yeah. So, she's a full-time metal fabricator, like I said, at that metals company in Braddock, and then and then she like part-time taught ceramics at the library.
Mm-hmm.
She was also involved with the Braddock Youth Project, which is an organization that gives students paid work experience and on-the-job training in like a bunch of different fields. And initially, she started that as a participant. Like, she was one of the kids that was part of it. And then eventually, she became an AmeriCorps team leader.
Mm-hmm.
So she really took on like kind of like a teaching position and stuff. And that's actually the job that, like, when she was involved with the Braddock Youth Project, that's the organization that helped her get the job with Studebaker, the metals like company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the relation there?
What do you mean?
I don't follow how she like just her relationship with one place got her a job at another place, but how are those two jobs related?
Yeah. So, the Braddock Youth Project, it like helped. It like worked with different companies in the area to help kids like.
Oh, okay.
To help kids like get jobs there, or like they like train them, and then they would like eventually train them in the other place. Like it just gave you like training.
Yeah.
For that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And like she was really artistic. Obviously, like as you can tell, like being a ceramics teacher and a metal fabricator, like she clearly had like a knack for this kind of stuff. So she was very talented in that field. She was also an avid dancer, and she studied flamenco and Kathak, I'm pretty sure. Maybe
or those
Kathak.
sound Middle Eastern, or am I completely wrong?
Well, flamenco is Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kathak is a traditional Indian dance.
So, completely wrong.
No,
like,
but I don't know how you would... yeah, I mean...
As you can tell, I'm very cultured. Okay.
She was just...
That's really interesting, by the way.
Yeah, she was apparently, like, really, really active in, like, her dancing. Like she didn't just, like, dance on the side. Like, she actually did study, like, the culture and the dance and, like, all that kind of stuff, which is super cool. And I think there's, like, this one quote. I didn't write it down, but her sister, Sydney.
Yeah.
And Sydney spelled Sydnee.
Ooh.
Like Sydney
and
Tony.
Had a plan.
Yeah, it was cute. Her sister Sydney said that, like, if you were ever at a festival in, like, Pittsburgh or, like, anywhere in the area, you would always see, like, Tony in the front just dancing. Like,
aww.
I know. It's super
That's so sweet.
It's just, she was just loving life.
Just a good spirit.
Yeah. She was really, really sweet. Like, there's another quote that I found, from like a coworker, and she said, like, from the first time she met Tony, like, Tony just like danced up to her and like came up to her and like hugged her, and they just like talked, and she was just like you could just feel her energy.
Yeah. I mean, from what you've told me, and like also the pictures on the Google Doc, and I don't want to get too much into it, but it gives me strong Elijah McCain vibes.
Yeah, my God.
Just good spirited, friendly.
Yeah,
like
just open-hearted. Like, you can just, you can tell you can just come up to that kind of person, and just
Yeah.
it's so sad. And again, you know, like kind of like what we said, not even knowing her, her family and friends described her as bubbly and caring and magnetic, which I think is a really cool adjective for people like that. Magnetic, like you just get like attracted to them.
Yeah, you're magnetic, Val.
And they also
Just no comment. Wow.
strongly.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
They also like stressed strongly that she was not someone that would run away or even like disappear for a few days without letting her family know. Like she just wasn't the type of person. Like she was very close to her sister. Like if you look them up, I'll show you a picture of Sydney. Like they literally look like twins. Like they're sisters, but they look like twins.
Okay.
And like she just would not do that. She wasn't the type that would run away. And I'm pretty sure she lived by herself. Like she had her own place. Like she wasn't, you know, like one of the teenage runaways, like quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean she was a full-grown adult at that time.
Yeah.
It's not like she's trying to escape some life that she doesn't like.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like she. Again, I mean, you really never know what someone's going through, like mentally, like with their mental health. But again, like it just didn't seem like she had anything in her life that was bugging her or anything that was bringing her like stress or anything like that. Like nobody ever said that at work, and none of her friends ever said anything.
It's
like
just
that.
like a freak incident where she just up and leaves, and like it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. The whole case is strange.
Yeah.
As we'll get into it. We'll see. Does not make a lot of sense. So Tonee was last seen on December 30th, 2019. So this past December, at around 6 p.m. at Dobra Tea in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood of Pittsburgh. And this was actually a tea shop that she often hung out with. It was like a bohemian type of like tea shop that she really loved. Apparently she was there like all the time. Like all the workers knew her. Like she was just there a lot.
Yeah.
And
a lot of Friends vibes from that. Show off of it.
Yeah. And it was like
bohemian tea shop.
I don't remember how close it was to her work, but I think somebody, like one article mentioned that it was like close to her work. So she probably just popped there like after working or before or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like one of those places where it's in your bubble, you know?
Yeah.
Like our bubble is kind of, you know, just I'd say like a half mile radius outside of where we are. It's like that area is where we would spend our time, and like people would see us just walking around, and like if we disappeared, our friends would know. Yeah.
And and it was very like artsy, bohemian, that kind of vibe that she loved.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, is that like any place like in DC? Like I know artsy, my hometown of Richmond, that's a pretty artsy area, especially the fan district.
Maybe Admo, like Adams Morgan.
Oh yeah. I think Adams.
I would describe that. Yeah, I would describe that as kind of bohemian and artsy and stuff.
Yeah. Tulum. Yeah. Tulum is 100% bohemian.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. And like I said, like a Dobra Tea worker actually confirmed seeing her that day. It's like so she was definitely confirmed being there, saying that she'd come in, had some tea, and then left. And then later that evening, a cyclist found her belongings 3 miles away. It's like 2 to 3 miles away from that tea shop. Yeah. And so like a couple of most of the articles said that it was like a young bicyclist, and then like a couple of articles said that it was a firefighter who was like I guess cycling.
Okay.
So I mean I don't think it matters too much, but
yeah,
it's just a cyclist, like someone that's biking.
Yeah, some guy who likes to work out on a bike.
Yeah, someone like just a person that was just biking by.
That's found in the dictionary, by the way. It's quoted as saying Luke Chambers, a guy riding a bicycle as a cyclist.
Yes. So what he found was her bag containing her phone, keys, a water bottle, a ceramic object in some articles, and her diary And then also her shoes were found on the pedestrian walkway of the Homestead Grays Bridge in Pittsburgh.
Was this all in a bag, or was this just all spread out?
Yeah, it seems like it was in the bag. And again, like only a couple of sources said that it had the ceramic object, but like her sister, like I saw a quote from her sister Sydney, and she was saying like this is not abnormal for her. Like she did ceramics, like she always had her stuff. Yeah.
I mean that didn't throw me off. What threw me off was her shoes.
Well, I think her shoes were next to the bag.
Okay.
Is what makes the most sense to me.
Yeah. Are there any pictures of it? Like were they like nicely placed next to the bag, or were they just spread out like she just got taken by someone?
I don't know.
Lost her shoes.
I don't know. There's no like specifics on that. It seems like it was nothing that rose alarm in the cyclist, because actually the cyclist called the very next day. He actually it said that in the one source that I saw, it said that he had contacted Tonee's aunt to return the belongings. So
did he find her wallet?
Yeah.
How did he know who it was?
So that's the thing that I was confused. Like I put like an asterisk next to it, because I didn't really know if this was someone
that knew Tonee, or
maybe,
or if her wallet was in there and he saw her ID.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that, like, I guess maybe he knew the family. Maybe she was like a local artist. Like she was, it's not like she was like famous in the area by any means, but she did have stuff at exhibits, and she had like this kind of, you know.
And
like,
I'm sure it wasn't just your average, you know, schmo bag that she had. It's probably something that was iconic to her.
Yeah, and so
but
like
that's just my assumption.
I don't. Again, yeah, we're completely speculating.
We don't have insider knowledge.
No, no one does. I don't think, for the most part. But it seems like either way, he had somehow gotten in contact with Tonee's family. Be it like, and what I was thinking when I first read that was maybe he had seen reports that she was missing, and maybe he was like, oh shit, like this is her ID, like this is the same name. That's what makes sense to me.
Did he pick her shit up? Or
yeah, he took it. Yeah, he took it home.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
kind of weird.
Yeah.
In my opinion. IMHO. You know.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But you never expect for the stuff, like you see like a bag out on the streets, you don't expect it to be part of like a missing persons case, you know. Mm-hmm. So he could have just been like picking it up, like, oh, maybe I'll find out who this is and take it to him, or I don't know.
A good Samaritan, yeah.
Yeah, you just want to get it out of there. And again, like maybe he was thinking, oh, maybe she just forgot it or left it or whatever. I just want to take it here.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then, and actually Tonee's sister, Sydney, said that he got in contact with them the next day and returned it in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long, like, did they file a missing persons report? Okay.
That's the next sentence.
Okay. I swear I don't even read these Google Docs. I just look at the pictures like a picture book.
Yeah, I'm trying to. No, when I was reading that, I was like, did he know that she was missing at the time that he returned it?
What are you talking about? You wrote this.
I know, but this was before. But this source had it before the other source had it when they filed the missing person report. So I had to put it together afterwards.
Oh my god.
So I didn't know.
I was like, did you just like pull this from someplace? I know you wrote it completely.
Yeah. No, when I read the cyclist part, that was the first source that I found, and then the next source that I found had it like she had like when they filed the missing persons report, and so I had to like backtrack and put it together.
Yeah. Just a little insider knowledge on how the research of raw crimes is done. Copyrighted, trademarked, and everything.
Yes.
So don't even try to do research.
It's very hard to do.
Exactly. Very costly to get into.
So, and then when he initially like contacted them, Sydney actually told the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, who she did an interview with, she said, quote, Tonee loses her phone frequently, but we started to understand that she was a missing person around 8 p.m. So, and I wrote this in the next sentence. I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm assuming that she means 8 p.m. that Tuesday that the cyclist had found. So she was missing on Monday. So the last time she was seen was Monday.
Right.
At the tea shop. Later that evening, he had found her stuff.
You mind going to get Iris real quick?
Oh my god.
Iris is eating the dish I made. She's eating the oh my god, I can't even remember the name. What's the name of the bread?
Spanakopita.
Okay, the spanakopita. What's the name of the bread?
The phyllo.
Yeah, phyllo bread. Yeah, she's eating that because she's into three things: bread, cheese, and grease.
Yeah.
And so when we order Domino's, she goes crazy. She goes ape shit for that. I've got pictures of her.
She had her little paws in the cookie sheet that we baked.
She really likes bread.
Yeah.
And grease and cheese. So if you ever meet Iris, just come up to her with a slice of pizza.
She's just a human, honestly.
Oh, she's back.
Oh my.
I'd say just put it up on the fridge. Yeah. No, I was going to say I've got pictures of her just going, she looks like a demon trying to eat some pizza. And that was from 2 years ago. So she hasn't changed a bit.
Oh, okay. She's insane.
Okay, so we were at...
Yes.
Tony's sister Sydney with 2 E's.
Yes.
Said that they knew she was a missing person at 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
She said around 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any clarification in that article or any other article, but I'm assuming that means after they were contacted about the cyclist having her phone. So he found the stuff Monday night and he held on to them until Tuesday morning. I think it said 11 a.m. Was when he contacted the family, and then they didn't get the stuff until later that night, until 10 or 11 p.m. Something like that. And so I think that they thought there's oh, she just lost her. What makes the most sense to me was they're oh, she lost her phone and someone found it that morning when he called them or something. And then around later that night around 8 p.m. when they didn't hear back from her, they were probably
Tony in the 21st century, you can just either ask someone hey, can I borrow your phone to text my family?
Yeah.
I lost my phone. Or you could go to a library and get on the computer there.
Yeah. And so they were probably waiting that whole day since they were contacted by that man, and they were this isn't right.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Yeah. And you definitely get that feeling. Iris is... Yeah.
She's trying to get into the cupboard. Okay.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. She can't do any damage other than to herself.
She does this all the time. We used to keep catnip in there, so she probably thinks it's still in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anyways. So yeah, again, like I said, that was the day after she was last seen and the day that the man had contacted them saying that they found Tony's belongings. That next day, Wednesday, was when police had actually put up missing persons signs around Pittsburgh. So that's when they actually started treating the case as a missing persons case.
Yeah. What is it typically? 48 hours? Or is it 72?
For
missing persons cases? I feel I've watched enough CSI where you can't file a missing persons case until this many hours after they've been gone.
Yeah, it depends. It depends, I think, on the police department. Nowadays, I know in the 80s and 90s, I've heard cases being discussed, and they were the family went to file a missing persons report for their 9-year-old, and they were oh yeah, you have to wait 3 days until.
That's fucked.
Yeah, because
I hope things have changed.
I hope so, because they say, what is it, the first 48 hours are the most important in finding a missing person, and after that it's just your chances go down exponentially. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Because you have to get the right clues and then follow the right clues, and then I don't know, the clues just get harder to find. Yeah. And eventually, if
people forget, if there are witnesses, they forget.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the other thing too. Or security cameras get wiped. It's stuff like that. We were watching The Outsider. Remember? Mm-hmm. And they were they went to investigate, and they're oh yeah, we need the security footage from this one place, and they're yeah, we wipe it after 12 hours, and they were there a month later.
Which is insane. I think that, this is just an opinion I just created in my head. I think big corps like Amazon, Microsoft, you know, with Azure and AWS, the cloud,
Mm-hmm.
they should offer like free storage to businesses to just put their security footage up. That would help.
It's definitely a thing we can do now for sure.
That would help
Yeah.
solve so many cases in the future.
Yeah, because you hear that a lot. Like either it just doesn't get recorded because it was like not working, or it got wiped.
Yeah.
By protocol. All right. So okay. And so her friends and family actually also spread her case around Facebook. And then they like put up more signs trying to get like just any kind of information that could help them lead to Tonee.
Mm-hmm.
They also looked through her diary, which they found in her bag on that bridge, searching for like any clues that they had on her state of mind, or maybe like if something had happened that they didn't know about that she would have recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like anything that could explain why she was missing. And actually her last diary entry talked about her being sad. And then, like, that just kind of ended there. Like, Sydney said, like, that was kind of the last thing she said, like, that she was sad, or, like, she talked about being sad or something.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much else to go on.
Which I kind of feel is a lot of people in this world.
Yeah.
For the most part, I don't know. You have your good days and your bad days.
Yeah, like, that's nothing to raise alarms. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, my God, she was sad. She jumped off.
The worst happened.
Yeah, exactly. And then... Also, like, relating to that, police also searched the Monongahela River in Pittsburgh.
Ooh, did you search up how to pronounce that?
I did, but I was actually right in what I thought it was pronounced as. I mean, it's just the...
Val's extremely good at languages. She is initially from Russia. She's a Russian speaker, but she's better at speaking English than I am. She's like... She always goes like, oh my God, like I would never use that adjective, and I'm like, I'm like, what's an adjective? Like I know what a noun is, a person, place, or thing. What the heck? Adverb, ly. Excuse me.
Hey, I had to learn that grammar real good.
I don't. Yeah. I'm good at grammar. I'm really good. I'm gooder than you.
So they searched the river in the area surrounding that bridge that her items were found on, but they turned up nothing. Like, and since they have turned up nothing.
Yeah. Are you saying they like just walked around the bridge and like under the bridge,
no,
or did they scuba dive?
No, I think they searched the river.
Okay.
I'm not sure how they did it. I'm sure they have dive teams, but again, I've seen videos. I've seen YouTube videos of the Monongahela River.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they call the Mon.
The Mon.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of fishermen, and they're like, yeah, we've been fishing on the Mon.
Well, why would you want to say I can't even say it.
Monongahela.
Fuck that.
That
I even heard it. I don't want to say it. We've been fishing on the Mon.
Yeah.
Where's this again? I forget.
Pittsburgh.
Wow. Yeah. I just remembered you said that like 2 seconds ago. I was going to say, like, I thought it might have been in the South, but... Like, I don't know. Fishermen,
Yeah.
like outdoorsmen, I always think south or like north, like Montana.
Yeah.
Not Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Because Pittsburgh is a big city, so you don't think like...
I was almost on my way to Pittsburgh. When we were going to Villanova, we took the wrong exit.
Oh, my God.
I wasn't driving, by the way, but we took the wrong exit because we were supposed to go to Villanova, but we ended up taking the exit to Pittsburgh. And it added, holy shit, I remember it added like 30 minutes to the trip.
Because there's traffic, I bet.
No, there was no traffic. It was just like, there was no route to just turn around and get back to the toll that we went. Because we had to go through the toll, and then we had to go. So I know Sonny's in the basket.
I didn't see him there.
Sonny's been in there for like 20 minutes now.
I didn't see him go in there. Sorry, go.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Sonny's in the basket. Long story short. Almost to Pittsburgh. Didn't make it to Pittsburgh because we turned around.
Oh my God.
So sorry. Okay. Continue.
Again, I'm pretty sure they searched that river. That's the other thing that I was gonna say. I saw videos of the Mon.
Yeah.
And I couldn't I didn't really pay attention to it. I guess I probably should have, but I couldn't tell if it was a fast-moving river or if it was just still for the most part.
Well,
not
like
still.
White Rapids fast.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but I'm not still. Like, I mean, I couldn't tell if it was fast-moving or slow-moving.
Yeah.
But either way, if you get in there like 2 days after she was last seen, how much do you think you're gonna find? Unless it sinks.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, things get caught under rocks, above water, underwater.
There should, if there was anything, there would be some kind of evidence in the river.
But what are you looking for? Like a gun, a knife, like
clothes?
Clothes?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. But the weird thing is her stuff was on a bridge over some water.
Yeah.
And that raises concern. Like
yeah.
I think they were expecting, if they found anything, to find a body.
That she jumped, yeah.
That she jumped, exactly. And if anything, if her body, like, if she did commit suicide and her body was flowing down the river, so I feel like someone would have found it by now. It's been months.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, by now her body would have been found.
Again, these are assumptions. We don't know anything.
But, I mean, for the most part, it is pretty logical, I think, to say that if she had jumped in that river, she probably
her body would have been found.
Could have been recovered, yeah. Especially if it's a spot for fishermen.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just thought of the worst thing. Just like the fisherman's hook getting caught on her. Oh
no.
God.
No.
I feel bad.
That's what
I feel bad for thinking that and saying that.
But also, like, that's how a lot of bodies are found in water. Like, not not like that. Not like that. But it is by fishermen seeing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who else is out there?
Yeah.
Like fucking track stars just running on water. Naruto.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, a few days after extensive searching, a tip actually came in from the public about Tonee. And so this led the search party, which consisted of friends and family and actually a couple of officers that were like tagging along to kind of like make sure that they were safe and like help them out and stuff like that, to the Hill District, which you might need to refer to the map that I included.
Oh, trust me, Val. This is a picture book. I'm already looking at it.
Okay.
I am looking at the picture.
Yes.
I haven't read a single word in this.
Yes. Specifically Linton Street.
Okay.
Sydney specifically actually was like really concerned about this, and she was very adamant about it being completely out of character for Tonee to be in the Hill District, because like what it seems like to me is that Hill District is like very downtown in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So and like Sydney says, like this wouldn't be a place that Tonee would ever hang out in. Like she did not go there. Like she didn't have friends there.
That kind of goes back to the bubble, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a certain distance, like a radius, like just a little circle, a bubble.
Yeah.
Of where you hang out.
Yeah.
Like for us, it's just kind of like 17th Street.
Yeah.
That's the most we ever hang out because we go to Safeway, get groceries, and we go back. And we go to the restaurants there.
Yeah.
We go to potentially bars, you know, when things open up. But that would be like us going to Columbia Heights and like hanging out there for God knows what. Yeah, and like we do, but not just like at 6 or 7 p.m. on like a weekday. Like I mean, it's just, and it's not. I don't even think it'd be Columbia Heights for us. I think for us it would be more like Capitol Hill or something like that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like we don't. There's nothing to do there. Like we don't go there. Yeah. For us, there's and like Tonee, like she was very artistic. She was very like bohemian, like all that kind of stuff. And like just from this whole like situation, it sounds to me like she just like the Hill District probably was definitely not that. Like downtown is rarely that, and I don't think she would have been there for no reason. And like Sydney said, she said, "quote There would be nothing here for Tonee, and I know that." Like she just knew that she wouldn't go there for any reason, especially after she'd been to a coffee shop or a tea shop. Yeah. Like why would she go there by herself? And this was on a Monday, right? Or Monday. Oh yeah, Monday. Yeah. Monday. It's not like a Saturday where you have all day to do whatever. And she wasn't with friends, like she wasn't with she was just by herself after going to a tea shop at 6 p.m. Like why she would have no reason to go there. 6 p.m. on a Monday. She would have no reason to go there. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So,
And the Hill District, like, what's that place? The red mark on the map?
oh, Dobra Tea.
Yeah,
The
that's
tea
the tea
shop.
shop she
That's
was
the
at?
tea shop, yeah.
Do you know where she lives? Is it, like, right by that?
No, I don't know where she lives, but I know the library where she works is somewhere around that, like in that area.
Yeah.
In that neighborhood.
I'll be sure to upload that to the Instagram.
Yeah.
But, like, the Hill District is twice as far away as the distance from the tea shop to the bridge. Like,
yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense for someone to go that far away where she typically doesn't go at night on a Monday.
Yeah, and she would have been, so from Dobra Tea to that bridge where they found her stuff, that was like 2 miles-ish, like close to 3 miles.
Yeah.
And then actually from the bridge, if you were like tracking where she might have gone, from the bridge to the Hill District was like 7 miles. And she didn't have a car, so she either walked or she bused, like she used buses.
Mm-hmm.
And in the interview that I watched with Sydney, she was like, she said, quote, I don't remember the exact like quote that she said, but she was saying that I know the buses here, like it wouldn't have like worked for Tonee, like she wouldn't have gotten on a bus to come here, like the bus system wasn't great there, like she wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah. Long story short, she would never have gone to the Hill District.
Yeah. Willingly
from what her sister said.
Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, of course, like the tip that placed her in Hill District, that there's a chance that tip is baseless. Like there is a chance that has nothing to do with Tonee, or maybe somebody thought they saw her, maybe somebody wanted to, you know, be contacted by the police, I don't know, be involved in the investigation, whatever the case is. And maybe Tonee did end up on that bridge where her stuff was found, and maybe she did take her life that night, like maybe that's where she ended up.
That's just surprising because I feel like they would have found her body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. And but like the tip must have been substantial enough to get officers to respond to it.
Yeah.
Like to actually investigate it. Like there has to be some kind of a checklist that you go through to like validate a tip. Like you don't just go chase after every lead that you get, because I guarantee with a case like this that's kind of big in the city where you are, like I don't think that. I think they must have been getting a lot of tips or a lot of information or something that might have been false leads, and I think that police have a way to like kind of get through the mud
junk.
A little bit, yeah, and get to the truth and like investigate something that's actually worth investigating.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of police, defund the police. Defund the police. This is an official message from Raw Crimes.
They have
a lot of money.
Insanely.
You saw how much money. Let me just ask you. Let me see if you know. Let me ping you. Do you know how much money the New York Police Department gets per year, annual?
It's like 6 something, either billion or million.
Guess.
6 billion.
Okay, well you just guessed high because that would be crazy, but that makes sense because yes, it's 6 billion. And
oh wait, it's actually 6 billion.
6 billion.
It's because I saw a tweet about it a while ago, but I didn't remember it exactly. But I knew it was 6 something. It's crazy.
It's insane. You could give like every adult in the world $1 with that much money. But like the point is, there was I saw a news article where they reallocated money or they like quote unquote defunded the police. But what they ended up doing is like reallocating some money from this department to that. And it ended up being like 500 million, but it wasn't defunding them. It wasn't completely taking away $1 billion like they said, because they said that they took $1 billion out of the police budget, but they just allocated it to other departments.
Yeah, which I mean is the premise of defunding the police. You just take their money and give it to other people, like, or other departments. Although, in the perfect world, you just
take money from them.
Take most of it away.
They don't need military gear. They don't need automatic ARs.
Speaking of the military.
Oh my god.
No, we're not getting into it. No, it's
like these people come here for like to like relax, like, oh, finally I just get to listen to crimes and like no politics.
Hey, politics is life. I don't know how you can get by through life without politics unless
you are from Russia.
Excuse
You're not even
me?
an American citizen.
So-
And you care more about US politics than I do. Maybe that says something about me. in a
because I'm
negative-
living here.
I guess.
And I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
And it affects me. I mean, not to the point that it affects other people. Like, I'm very privileged in the fact that it doesn't actually adversely like affect me that much, but it like seeing how it affects other people, like other communities in this country, like that.
It's surprising to me how many people don't care about helping other people, and they're always self-serving and just.
It's not that surprising with the mentality like that, like pull yourself up by the bootstraps,
Oh
like
my God.
independence, like all that
They
kind of
don't
shit.
understand.
Yeah.
Like they've never been in other people's shoes. Where
Yeah,
they
that's the other thing. Yeah.
like, oh my God, we could go on for hours. These are private.
Yes.
These are private.
Maybe we'll have a
conversations that
second podcast where we talk about this.
Val and Luke political, or Val and Luke go political.
Go political.
Yeah, it's whatever. Just help people out. Donate to charities. Donate to Black Lives Matter.
Just being empathetic.
Exactly.
That's it. That's really it. Like, it's just having empathy for other people.
I would say like put yourself in their shoes, but a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't even imagine what some of these people in the US go through.
Or they like try to, and they're like, yeah, but like I would just do this,
No,
and I would just change
exactly.
it. But like you can't when they're in that situation. Like if you are a community or a race or a nationality that's just been like pushed down for so long, and like everything is like there's just no way to overcome that.
I remember, God, I wish I knew if it was a video or an article so I could link it. But I remember it was like talking about like where these people live that have been so pushed down, and it's like everything around them is just an ecosystem to just keep them there.
Yeah.
And it's like keep them in debt, keep them paying shit to other people.
Over police those neighborhoods too, because
And
that leads to
over-police,
higher
yeah.
crime rates because there's more police. Yeah.
Higher crime rates because they're like, if I were to jaywalk here in DuPont Circle, they're not gonna pull me over. But if someone else was to jaywalk in another area of DC, there's a higher chance and a different skin color, I'd say
Oh, for sure.
a higher
yeah.
chance they'd get pulled over and get a ticket.
Yeah.
And that's like a $200. Okay.
It's just
Val and Luke go political. Subscribe. We'll talk. I don't know. We don't want to get too far into that.
The last thing I'll say on that to wrap that up
Yeah.
is if white neighborhoods and white communities got policed as often as black and brown communities did, they would have the same crime rates reported. So whenever you see people saying like, oh, black people commit more crime than white people, that's not true. It's just that
I'll say this.
their neighborhoods are over policed.
I'll say this. I grew up in, of course, that's why I say of course, a privileged suburban neighborhood. I cannot recall one time I saw a police car drive through.
Yeah.
Maybe once, but like it's vague. I don't actually remember it.
In
But
black and brown
I remember
kids-
driving through Richmond, downtown Richmond, like to go to bars or whatever when I was older. And I just remember just police cars everywhere. And not even like in the city, like on the outskirts of the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the population is higher percentage black than white.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like what you face as a black or brown kid, like in this country. You just deal with police all the time because like, yeah. It's
Val and Luke go political.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
It sucks.
All right.
And it's something that we can't really ever understand.
Yeah. Back to Tonee.
Yes. Oh yeah. So again, like if the tip was substantial, the tip that led police to the Hill District.
Hill.
Yeah.
Yes. Hill.
enough, if it was substantial enough to get officers to respond to it, what could have possibly led Tonee to the Hill District? Like, if we say that she actually was there, if we speculate that she was there based on that tip, why, like, for what reason would she have been there? It would have only been if she was meeting someone, doing something there, like she had something to do there, or she was taken there. She, like her sister said, like, she knew her best. She would not have been there just out of her own accord for no reason.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like, it's not like she would have been going, like, grocery shopping there, or like like going 7 miles away to for what?
Yeah. I mean, maybe she was single, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't, nothing said about it. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, like, the only thought that I have is, Tinder. Like, she met someone online, or maybe she met someone in her daily life, and
that's possible.
They live in the Hill District.
Yeah, that's possible. But I mean, that still relates to the fact that she wouldn't have been there on her own accord. Like, she would have been doing something there, meeting someone there, or taken there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning more towards taken there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird situation. And yeah, so, like, some people, I've seen, like, a couple of Reddit threads about this, and some people were saying, like, what if she was approached by someone after she left Dobra Tea? Like, it's highly likely she could have been.
And this was before daylight saving time turned around or whatever. It was like
April 22nd, 6 p.m. I don't know. I don't think it was dark by then.
Come on, National Treasure. I'm trying to think of the movie. Because National Treasure, one of the guys told Nicolas Cage, like, I know something that you don't. Hold up, I wanna take this moment in, and then he talked about how, I think it was like Benjamin Franklin or something came up with daylight savings time, so they thought they were late to something, but because that, like, God,
I don't even remember that.
Nicolas Cage is a national treasure himself. We just have to save him. Save Nicolas Cage. Hashtag save Nicolas Cage. I can't even speak right.
Hashtag save Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Not the bees. Okay. Off from Nicolas Cage and daylight savings time. Oh my God.
I don't know if it was dark out.
Yeah.
If that's what you're getting at.
But, like, we don't even know the time. That's the thing.
Well, sometime after 6 p.m.
Yeah, we just know she left sometime after 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And she could have been walking for an hour or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know where she went.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. What if someone approached her? What if she was met with foul play? Like,
and that happens.
Yeah,
which 100%. Is the scary thing. Which is the scary thing.
Like, just a woman walking down the street at whatever time, closer to, like, nighttime. Maybe it was getting dark. That's horrifying.
And the thing is, I saw this on your Google Doc. She is 5'2". Hold on, let me go up to it.
She's small.
She's 5'2". Yeah. 130 pounds.
Yeah.
Most men can take advantage of her.
Yeah, she's very small.
Mm-hmm. And I'm, again, not assuming anything, but, like, not saying a man did it or a woman did it. I don't know, but
yeah,
whatever.
We don't know.
But, like, she's small, and she could easily be taken advantage of, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, if that is what happened, again, it's highly, like, you know, a lot of people say, like, Occam's razor, like, you found her belongings on a bridge. She jumped.
Yeah. And that could have been easily set up. Because
yeah, that's the other thing. Somebody actually on Reddit said that. They were like, what if that was placed there? Like, we just don't know. We don't know because we don't have a body. We don't have anything.
Exactly. If I were in the kidnapper or murderer's position, again, police. This is just a hypothetical. But if I were in, like, any position where I committed that big of a crime where I could face life in prison,
it's not something you're just doing off the whim. Like, you know what you're doing at that point.
I would try my best to just make it look like they off themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. She definitely could have jumped. Again, which is horrifyingly like sad to talk about, but she could have been depressed. Like she could have contemplated suicide. And like again, in like countless other cases that we've seen before, and just like people have seen before, like you don't know when when someone who is depressed, or someone who you don't know is depressed, or just someone just commits suicide. Like it doesn't have to have like some long build up to it. It doesn't have to make sense. Like it just happens. Like something, I don't know, it's just something in the person's mental health. Yeah, it literally is, it just snaps. Like, and so maybe she was depressed. Her family and friends, like, and they don't know. They don't have to know if she didn't tell them.
I'm thinking like, I don't know. I don't know how to put this. I haven't thought about how to put this, but like when you're driving, like when we were driving yesterday, remember when we were just joking around, like, like just like turn right,
right,
like, just right. But like, it's that like I like could have just turned right real quick. Like it's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to really just jump off a bridge. Like it doesn't have to be that build up that you said. It doesn't have to be some climax to something. It could literally just be in the moment. Like you're sad, you're depressed, you don't know where to go in life, and then you just say to yourself, the easiest the way out, easiest thing to do. Like I'm walking on this bridge, I'm walking home. Like I look over the edge, like that could happen. It's not something that is like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to make sense to us for there to be some big event that happens.
That's a completely reasonable explanation for why she's missing. She could have easily just like she could have been depressed just because like, and her family and friends, like they say that she wasn't depressed. Just because they don't know that doesn't mean that she wasn't. Again, there's like so many people in this. I don't have the statistics on it, but there's so many people living in this country with depression or any kind of mental health illness that like you just don't know that they are. And that's like, and it's a silent killer too, because you could cross that line into being suicidal. And she could have easily been, if she had talked about being sad, I mean, that might not have even something to do with it. Like she could have just been depressed, and she ended her life that night. And I saw a couple of comments actually on that Reddit thread, which which makes sense to me. The fact that her shoes were off. So maybe she was subconsciously thinking, I'm going to get into the water, I should take my shoes off. Like maybe it was an action that she did before she jumped. And like, that could completely be it. But that it could also be the case that she was picked up by someone, or she was approached, or she was attacked or something. Or maybe it was someone she knew and maybe they took her somewhere and something went wrong. Like we just don't know.
And this happened in April, so there's still so much that can unravel within the coming months.
And years. I don't know where the investigation is. I don't think it's closed. I didn't read anything about that.
I do want to say one thing. I did search up a 2017 national survey on drug use and health. What is it? I think it says I'll just read it. According to data from the 2017 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 17.3 million adults in the U.S., equaling 7.1% of all adults in the United States, have experienced a major depressive episode in the past year. And that's a major depressive episode. That's someone that realizes they have depression. So 7.1% is the minimum.
Yeah.
Which is
and
insane.
That's them having an episode too. Like most people with depression just live depressed for their lives.
You could think like, 3% more, like 5% more. It could very well be like 3-4 times 7%.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that that number needs to be bumped up a lot for people that actually are struggling with depression. Yeah. And you never know. You really don't know if someone has it unless they want you to know.
I mean, you're a strong advocate of seeing therapists. Like, did I tell you I saw a therapist for my anxiety when I was a kid?
No, you didn't. I saw one too, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Mom, thank you for taking me to the therapist. I know you're listening to this. Love you. But yeah, I went to the therapist for my anxiety because whenever like my parents would go on a date, like they literally went like 2 blocks away to some Japanese or Chinese restaurant, and they just had dinner. Like not even a dinner and maybe a dinner and a movie. I don't know, but they were gone for maybe 2 or 3 hours at night. And I remember I was like playing RuneScape, and after like 30 minutes, I called my mom, and I was like either hyperventilating or crying, but like I was just scared and anxious, and I wanted them back. But I remember the first time I went to the therapist, literally the first time like my mom left the door, like closed it, like I just started crying and bawling. Like I couldn't handle it. But eventually, like, I got comfortable with that therapist, and I think it was even the second time I saw them, like, I was fine. I didn't cry or anything. I knew my mom was out in the lobby, but
it feels nice to have someone to talk to.
That too.
Yeah. Like, for anyone that's struggling, like, it's just literally all they're there for is to listen to you and give you advice. Like,
I mean, the point of my story is, like, it worked.
Yeah.
Like, I remember this one time, like, my mom went into a Starbucks, and it was me, Sean, Evan, and Abigail, so 3 of my siblings. I brought them into the Starbucks after like 3 minutes because I thought something was going on in there. Like I literally thought the worst of the worst. But, you know, me going to therapy and also me growing up a little bit and like maturing, but especially me going to therapy, that helped me out a lot.
Yeah. And that, like, I think for people that suffer with like anxiety or depression disorders like that, like, I mean, obviously therapy helps, like regular therapy helps, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very important to have that helped out. My cousin actually was kind of like that. He would.
The tall one, like the 6'5".
They're both tall.
The what?
They're both tall.
Well, one is what?
The one that lives in Russia.
I thought they both. Okay, there's one.
They're both very tall. I don't know their heights.
Okay.
Exactly.
The one that's like a year or two younger than you, living in Russia. That's 6'5".
Yes.
And into lifting, apparently.
Yes, he is just recently.
I'll tell you this: when you said that he was taller than me, I felt a little bit like I was like, oh. Like,
he's tall though. Yeah, like he's like 6'4", 6'5". I don't know exactly the exact height he is. He's just like. He just grew.
I don't know if it's all guys, but definitely for me, it's like being taller than someone. Like as I'm walking by, I always do this. Like let's say we're crossing a crosswalk or whatever. You know how it's like the pathway and then it like goes down into the road. Mm-hmm. Like I'll always like look at them and be like, I wonder if I'm taller. And like as I pass them, I'll be like my eyes will be on the corner of my head or whatever, like looking at them. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm taller. And, like, it doesn't give me a boost of confidence, but, like, I feel like, okay, like, yeah.
More secure.
Yeah, but,
so
like.
It's like an insecurity rooted in just.
Yeah, but and if someone's taller than me, I'm, like, a little bit more insecure. But like, it's just weird. But I just notice myself doing that a lot.
It's like a subconscious insecurity. Maybe it's like a guy thing. Because that's, I feel like that's what guys get judged on is height.
A lot, yeah.
Which is horrifying, because the fuck can you do about that?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a surgery out there that they break your shins.
I
know about it.
Yeah, I know.
They break your shins and they like make them longer. It's disgusting and painful.
That's just
and
so
pointless.
Sad.
Why do you want to look like Slenderman? Why do you want to have super long legs and like an average torso?
It doesn't. Yeah, no. It doesn't matter what height you are. How does that? It's just so sad that determines your quality of life. Like just
that's you though.
Because of our. Well, it's our
there
society.
There are a lot of men and women out there that. I mean.
There are, but they have a lot to overcome, because of the society that values tall, skinny, beautiful. You know, like it's.
So me, oh my god! No, I'm just kidding. Average. So is there anything else on Tonee that we know of?
I was just, there's like one little thing. Again, like whatever may have happened to Tonee, whether it was self-inflicted, whether she was actually struggling with depression, and whether she did jump off the bridge or not, or if she was taken by someone, if she was approached by someone, she knew someone she didn't know, something happened to her, whatever may have happened. Like, her family literally is just dying to get her home. Like, that's all they want. Like, they don't even,
Like, dying to get her home or dying to get closure? Like, they want
her home, whatever that may be, like, however that may be. If it's her body, if it's her, like, she could very well be alive.
Yeah, I mean, so closure.
Yeah, just any way to get Tonee home.
That's got to be the worst feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I like my personal experience with that. Nothing to a degree to the point of what Tonee's family is going through.
Yeah.
But I remember my brother Sean, like, I couldn't find him. I don't remember exactly if, like, my whole family was looking for him, but I just knew, like, Sean wasn't at home. My parents told me, like, he wasn't at practice or anything. And he was younger. Like, we were all younger. Like, I was probably 14. He was probably, like, 9 or 10, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, like, I couldn't find him at all. But he ended up being... Pour me some wine too. But he ended up being at my friend Matt's house, and, like, the thing is, like, he was never there. Like, he was never at Matt's house with another friend of mine named Ben. Mm-hmm. Like, he was just never there. It was just really weird. But I remember, like, I was just picking up on all of these little things. Like, I saw, like, a van drive by, and I literally thought, like, what if, like, the van took him or something? I was just thinking the worst. So either finding him or just having that closure was, like, all I wanted. And this was also I still had really severe anxiety at that time.
Right.
So just getting that closure was extremely important to me. So I understand to a degree, like I said.
Yeah, to a very small extent of what this family is feeling. Like, it's just, like, unthinkable.
I couldn't imagine going through that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, obviously the whole situation is just sad. So at a vigil for Tonee at Carnegie Library where she worked, Latika Ann, a coworker, said, quote, "Tonee's still here. I feel it. We're going to find her." And this was on January 4th, 2020. So this was 6 months ago. And that was really...
Wait, what was with April? The month of April? I thought that this all happened in it.
Oh, my God. Wait. Was I saying April the whole time?
Maybe.
Oh, my God. April was the next case.
Oh, my God.
She went missing... Well, no. Well, I said at the beginning of the case, she went missing December 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. So December.
Well, good thing this is a Raw Crimes early episode. Mistakes will be made.
Only in the discussion, but nothing that we said changes.
Yeah.
With a date.
And I hope, like, if you're listening, like, I hope you, like, read the description as well. That is where most of the accuracy is.
And at the very beginning, we said December 30th. We just mixed it up later.
Yeah. The discussion, you know, we're dabbling a little bit in alcoholism. You know, we're just trying it out. We're drinking a little bit of wine. I had a Modelo earlier. We're having a good time, and we're trying to stay professional. But we will make mistakes, obviously. For sure. But the description will be sober when we write that. Like, we'll make sure. We'll make sure to have the links to the articles, so you can read up on your own, and also the dates and everything will be accurate in the description.
And hopefully we catch on to our mistakes.
Like tonight. Yeah.
So
otherwise, it happened in December. She went missing in December.
She went missing December 30th.
December 30th, and then January what?
January 4th was when they had the vigil for her, and there really hasn't been any updates since then.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's just nothing to go on.
And you haven't seen anything about the case continuing?
No.
That's insane.
I mean, if we see, if I do find any updates, I have Google Alerts switch on. If we see anything, if anything changes, maybe like we could post something about it, or we'll post a little mini episode, or I mean, either way, like
we'll make sure you guys know what happens.
Yeah.
All right. So, what actually happened in April? What's it?
In April.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get on to our next case, our second case. So this is the case of Vanessa Guillén.
Vanessa Guillén, by the way, I'm gonna be a little biatch and interrupt you.
Yes.
She is all over Twitter right now.
Yeah.
I saw her yesterday. I saw her the day before.
Because it's happening right now.
It's happening right now, and this is amazing. Like, this is fantastic that cases like these, and just like, you know, you see stuff on Twitter all the time. It's like, like this person's been missing. Like, you see a lot of kids, they're missing. It's important to see that and to like read that and retweet it if it applies to you.
Especially in this day and age.
Retweet it anyways, but I don't know. I don't say. You go.
Well, I was just gonna say, because like we don't really watch like cable news really, so it's like seeing it trending or like on social media is extremely important. So I'm glad there's people out there that are like putting it out there and making sure that it's like trending on stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because we otherwise wouldn't see it if it wasn't on Twitter. Like literally, I got this case from Twitter. Like initially, like I remember I had Googled like I wanted to do a missing persons case, like and I like Googled it at one point. And literally, like, one of the first cases that came up was Vanessa Guillén, because right now it is trending so hard. And so, like, I clicked it, and I was like, oh, my God, like, I've seen her picture before. Like, I've seen it on Twitter. Yeah. And so that's what really convinced me to do it, because I really do want to keep getting her case out there.
And she's young, too.
She's 20. She was 20.
Jesus. Yeah. Tonee Turner, 22.
And 20 years old, yeah.
And Vanessa Guillén. Guillén. I'm sorry. 20.
20.
This is frightening. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what the percentage is, but it seems like a lot of the trafficked people are within this age range of like 20 to 30.
Yeah. That could also be a case. That could also be the case in Tonee's case. Like, yeah. She could have 100% been a victim of sex trafficking. Like, because they disappear without a trace.
Exactly. And the only reason I know Vanessa is like one of these cases is because you prefaced it like they're not murders, they're missing persons, and that's kind of where my mind goes when I hear missing persons and it's a female. Like, unfortunately, like the reality is I think of because it is so prevalent. Like, I don't have the numbers on it either, but like you just don't know how often it actually does happen. Like, sex trafficking is a huge deal in this country. Like, it's not just some like out there theory. Like, it literally is like every day. Eventually we need to talk about Epstein.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially with today's news.
Yes, thank you, Ghislaine Maxwell, you little bitch.
Yeah, Ghislaine got arrested by the FBI.
Finally. Is she in custody?
She's in custody.
Thank God.
I don't know where they found her, because I know she was in hiding afterwards.
Literally, I'm cynical right now. Literally chain her up like the medieval times so she can't even do anything. Like, you should have done that to Jeff Epstein. Fuck him. Fuck Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
They are horrible people. Period. You cannot change my mind.
Yeah. And she... Not worse. I would not say she's worse, but because she didn't actually do the stuff that Jeffrey did to those women.
She couldn't do that.
She couldn't,
to a degree.
Yes, but she could have raped them, and she very well could have. I don't know. All I know about her is that she procured victims for him. She
knew what was going on. She was complacent.
She groomed girls to get victims for Jeffrey. And for herself, too. Wait, no, she literally raped girls, too. I know, we watched that documentary. She raped them.
Oh.
She was involved.
I remember that. There was only a part of that documentary where they were...
Where she was actually involved in the act. Yeah, no, she literally did. I guarantee you she did. And especially the fact that, like... And I saw this, actually, on an Instagram post. This is, like, almost a year to the day after he was arrested. So I bet they were just biding their time. I bet they were like getting their case together, just waiting to bring her in.
They better have been.
Because her quote unquote in hiding, like when she went into hiding after Jeffrey was arrested, like her going into hiding, I think the whole time the FBI knew where you were. Like,
Definitely.
I don't think they were just like, oh no, she's hiding. Where is she? Like, we don't know where she is.
She's not in Trump's bunker or anything.
Yeah, I don't think it took them a year to find her.
Bunker bitch. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
This is raw crimes. We can joke about this. We literally live a mile away from this asshole.
Yeah. Half the time when he's not golfing.
When he's not golfing at
wherever.
Yeah.
Either somewhere in Virginia.
I know he's got golf. He's got golf courses in like Ireland and.
Yeah, but he doesn't go there often.
He's probably not allowed in Ireland. The U.S. president. All right. Vanessa.
Let's get into Vanessa Guillén.
I'm actually excited. I'm interested because I've seen her all over the place, but I haven't really delved into it because I knew you were writing on her.
Yeah. No, I mean, excited. It makes sense. Okay, so Vanessa Guillén. So like we said, she was a 20-year-old Fort Hood private first class soldier who went missing from the base back in April. I think April 22nd. Not long after opening up to her mother about not feeling safe at the base.
That's
not
sketchy.
A good start. Yes. So she actually grew up in Houston, Texas, and
let's go Texas.
Growing
from Texas, by the way.
Yes, he was born in Texas.
Represent
Austin.
Not Houston, but Austin.
So growing up in Houston, Vanessa was always active as a kid. According to her family, she loved to jog, play soccer, and she also loved to learn. She graduated in the top 15% of her high school class, and eventually, I guess she joined the Army. There's not really much out there about her, information about her, because this is such a developing case, and also, we might need to cut this. I'm just waiting for you to get that.
No! I'm getting a White Claw. We're not cutting.
What?
I'm getting a White Claw.
Look what you did.
I'm back. We're not cutting. This is raw crimes. This is raw footage.
Okay.
Footage.
So
video. Audio. Jesus. Raw audio. Hello. Okay, I'm back.
So, according to her family, she loved to jog, play soccer, and she also loved to learn. She graduated actually in the top 15% of her class, of her high school class.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was top like 30, 40, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. No, she was definitely
She's smart.
Above average for sure. And like I said, it's still a very much developing case. So we don't really know much about her background too much. Like this is like everything that I've said so far, like we got from her family. So there's nothing out there really that much about her. But eventually she joined the Army. And okay. So like I'd mentioned earlier, she had approached her mother not long before going missing and actually told her that she felt unsafe at the base. And that until a day ago, an unnamed sergeant, quote unquote, was sexually harassing her. So like I had mentioned earlier, she had approached her mother not long. About the sexual harassment that she was experiencing. And so like I said, I wrote this original story. I mean, it hasn't changed really at all, but I did the research mostly for this story, like literally yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. And at that point, everyone was unnamed. Everyone was unidentified.
No, I mean,
that's changed.
Luke, spoiler alert. Well, Val, spoiler alert. Yeah, things have changed. Like, it's a good thing we're recording tonight.
Literally today it changed.
So we have a few names.
Yes, we do. We're going to put them out there.
Get blasted, bitch.
So yeah, he's been named, and this unnamed sergeant, quote unquote, is Aaron David Robinson.
Fuck you, Aaron. David Robinson. Sounds like an asshole name.
Well, we don't know 100% if
I was gonna say there's a little
We're
bias.
just kidding. Well, I mean,
Aaron David Robinson, though.
I mean, we're pretty sure.
But this is the guy that
We're gonna stake our reputation on it.
this
Don't
is the
say.
guy that was like sexually assaulting her.
According to her and her
Or
family.
sexual harassment.
According to her and her family.
Okay.
So yes, because that's all that matters.
Okay. Well, I would like to say one thing.
Yes.
Even if it's not Aaron, whatever, Aaron
David
Dixon, Robertson. Fuck you, whoever sexually harassed. Fuck you if you ever sexually harass someone, ever, for any reason. There's no reason.
Well, let me get into how he was doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So she had told her mother about this, and she also told her friends and fellow service members.
Yeah.
That she was actually being stalked by him and harassed, like we'd said.
Wait, hold up. She told her friends?
Yes, and
Did
service
her friends
members.
come out and say this was, like, yes, this was him?
I don't know if they said yes, this was him, but they like it is on record of her telling her mom, her friends, and her service members that she was being sexually harassed by one of the sergeants on the base.
God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I hate how that's a thing.
It's
disgusting.
I mean, it's just horrifying, and it is a thing that happens way more often than we would like to think. Like it when people have when women are disproportionately like represented at places like this, at bases like this, at military bases, this is like, it's sad to say, it's just what happens.
Yeah. And I'm just curious. I know I'm your boyfriend. You don't have to tell me, but have you ever felt sexually harassed or like been sexually harassed that you know of?
Maybe when I'm catcalled.
Oh yeah, you were
That's probably it.
You're like running, and you told me that some guy was yelling at you, but you thought
he
it was
yelled at. Yeah, he kept talking and yelling at me as I was running. I mean, that's like catcalling is something that I'm pretty sure every woman has ever experienced. Like, it has nothing to do with anything besides just
you being there.
Yeah, and just feeling that kind of just feeling like I don't know, some kind of twisted power over the victim. It's fucked.
Yeah.
But I've never experienced like real, like not real. Not saying that catcalling isn't real sexual harassment. It literally is sexual.
That,
yeah. I've never, thank God that I know of, experienced being stalked or actually being harassed by.
I mean, I've stalked you a few times. Like, I've looked at you at night, just been like, damn, I'm lucky, and then closed my eyes and went back to bed. I know. I'm kidding. This is official raw crimes evidence that Luke Chambers is a stalker.
So she told her mother, her friends, and her service members.
Yeah.
That she was being stalked and harassed by Robinson. And she actually told them that he was even following her on her runs. She liked to run a lot. Like, she jogged. Like, she was in the military, and just in general, like, she was very active. She liked to stay in shape. She would just jog. Like, something
literally anyone should be able to do without being sexually harassed.
Yes. Like, that's literally what anyone, like.
So what did this guy, like, jog behind her?
I don't know, but she said that he would follow her on runs. Like, it was to a point where she had noticed it that she had to, like, say it. It's not like, oh, this guy runs at the same time as me. He's following me on runs.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And frightening.
It's horrifying. Because it's horrifying. It's just, I can't even imagine. Like, that feeling of someone following you. I've had that before. And a superior. Yes.
A superior.
A superior.
Technically a coworker in her case.
Well, it's a coworker, but it's also someone who has power over you.
You were going to say you had someone following you?
Just from, like, I've had that feeling before of, like, just walking around and I'm like, and someone, is like giving me weird looks or is trying to talk to me or just whatever that may be.
I always see like let's say I'm walking home from like getting the groceries or whatever, and like someone's sitting on their porch of their apartment complex or whatever, like they're just sitting on the side, and like I'll see them like look over and like check some girl out all the time. And it's just like,
yeah, but at least that's harmless.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, it's not them literally jogging after them.
Yeah. Or yeah. I mean,
we don't know, but like we don't know how he watched her jog.
Either way, she felt that she was being followed by him on her runs enough that she told her. Like, she wouldn't, there's no reason that any woman would ever have to make that kind of stuff up.
Yeah.
Absolutely no reason. No reason. Yeah. So yeah, and actually due to this, she like told her mother that she'd been having trouble sleeping recently, which she's never had before. Like, she's never had insomnia, she's never had any kind of trouble sleeping. So that was like a clear sign that something was definitely wrong in her life. Because of this guy. Not because of anything she did.
Because of this asshole.
Yes. Okay. So her mother actually reportedly planned to take action against her, or against him. Not her. Against,
oh my God.
Against him. Against Robinson.
Yeah.
But Vanessa, fearing retaliation because this was her superior, because he probably was in contact with people that had power over her, like that people were higher up in the army or in the military, whatever the fuck.
There's that thing too. It's like, you get comfortable with your position, like your job.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you were to get fired or let go, like, for a lot of people, you don't know where your next paycheck is going to come from. You don't know what to do. And so that there's that comfort of continuing what you're doing, even like if you feel a little bit uneasy or vulnerable just in your position.
And I'm sure because she's a woman, I'm sure she probably tried to like explain it to herself and be like, this is what it's like being a woman in the military. This is what it's like.
I don't have anything to say on that because I'm obviously, maybe you can tell from my voice, I'm obviously not a woman. Maybe you can tell from my appearance too. I don't know. I've been told I look feminine, but I'm not female, so I don't have anything to say on that. Yeah,
I mean, anyone, like, it's just, yeah, again, like, you probably, in our society, I think most women have been, like, women and trans women have been conditioned to think that, like, being a woman, being attractive, being this, quote unquote, comes with, like, being approached the way you don't want to, or being told this or being told that, like, which
is unnecessary.
Yeah,
which is extremely wrong.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to ever feel like you're just like, yeah, like, again, just being objectified in general. And I'm sure she tried to convince herself that like this is what I get for being in a male dominated like culture.
Yeah, like that's why we're assuming that's why she didn't leave right away. It's like, yeah, this is like, she was probably thinking like, this is normal.
She was trying to rationalize it. Yeah,
this is what a lot of women in the military go through. Like, this is nothing strange. Like the sergeant doing
hitting on me, like doing, yeah, exactly. Like, you try to minimize it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we don't know. It's just our assumption.
But it's probably, I guarantee you she was trying to minimize it and saying like, oh, he just, like, I feel uncomfortable. And that's the other thing, is that she must have gotten to a point where she felt that she couldn't go on any longer without telling someone. Yeah. Because if it was just quote unquote hitting on her, or just doing doing stuff like whatever, like stuff like that, like you can write that off. But as soon as it and not that you should have to write that off, first of all. Yeah. But
yes, Sergeant following me on my jogs. Yeah, that happens to everyone. He literally jogs after every woman in our branch. He's a really fit guy. Yeah. Also, fuck him.
But like the fact that it got to the point where she had to tell her mom, and she was telling her friends, and she was telling her fellow service members that she felt unsafe because of this guy. Like that tells that alone tells you at the level of danger that she was in.
Yeah.
Because that's not knowing what women have to go through in general in any workplace. I assume, especially in the military, I can't even imagine being a woman in the military right now. You know that like once it gets to that bad of a point where you have to speak out, that's like 100 times worse than the situation itself, because you have to tell someone because it's so bad.
Yeah.
And again, like since her mom was planning on taking action against Robinson, Vanessa actually like said that she would do it, but she never actually like submitted a formal complaint because she feared.
I'm sure there's nothing that would have happened to her.
Yeah.
Or happened to him, I mean.
It happened to him, yeah. And if she did, she feared retaliation. Like she feared that if she did that, she could get...
Because the system is absolutely fucked.
Yeah, and they would 100% protect him over her.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, again, just to add to that, the Army Criminal Investigation Division Command, or CID, they call themselves, reported...
Kid. We're Kid. What up? This is the Kid.
They reported that it has found, no, quote, credible information or report on the Guillén's family's claims that Vanessa was being sexually harassed. Which, I mean, again, but you would expect that if she didn't submit anything because she was scared to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, of course you found no report or claim because she never submitted one because she was terrified.
She's not there to say it.
Exactly.
Where the fuck do you think she went?
Yeah, like she was terrified. She was scared to submit a report about that.
And this happened in April.
April
what? 20th, 22nd?
I think April 22nd was the day she went missing. Yeah.
That's so recent.
And she submitted, or she told her mom like a week or two before.
It's a little over 2 months that she's been missing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So now we get to, and then I have just pictures of Vanessa Guillén, and then that's Aaron David Robinson. Aaron David Robinson, yes. Who was recently identified. Literally today identified.
He's the sergeant?
Yeah, he was a sergeant.
He looks young.
He's 20.
He was the same age as her and he was a sergeant?
Yep.
He must have gone straight into the military.
Yeah, probably.
And that makes a little bit more sense. Well, not a little bit more sense, but him being 20, like, his brain's obviously not fully developed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't... I'm not giving him an excuse for potentially stalking her.
I know what you're saying, though, but he was definitely not, like... even if...
I don't know. Even old men are creepy. Jeff Epstein, for fuck's sake.
I was going to say, even if he was a full-grown man, that wasn't... Not saying he's not a full-grown man, but if he was a fully developed, quote-unquote, man, like 30, 40-year-old, he still 100% would have done this.
Yeah, which is fucked.
Yeah. And who knows, like, he 100% probably was preying on her or other women, too. Okay, so...
Get your ass out of the corner. Iris is in the corner right now fucking with the wires. Get out.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
All I see is the plant moving.
I'm just hoping she doesn't, like, pull out the... She's moving the router. I'm hoping she doesn't pull out the internet. It doesn't matter.
She'll be fine.
She's tiny.
All right.
She weighs, like, 2 pounds.
She was 7. Okay, so on the day of April 22nd, 2020, Vanessa went missing at around 1 p.m. from the parking lot of the Regimental Engineer Squadron headquarters at Fort Hood, which is where she worked. Like she was part of. I don't know military titles. She was like private first class, something like that.
That sounds very low. That sounds very...
Yeah, she was like the lowest.
Not to knock on her, but that sounds very like...
She was like entry level.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, entry level.
She was, but she worked in the Regimental Engineer Squadron headquarters.
Okay. God, that's a mouthful again.
Yeah. And also Fort Hood.
Fort Hood.
By the way, according to Google Maps,
Yeah.
covers about 340 square miles, which is huge.
And that's not all brick and mortar shit. That's
that's just like
land.
territory, yeah.
Well, that's like, because I know they have like, I just burped. I know they have like fire ranges and like, I guess training ops. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a large area.
It's huge. It's 340 square miles between Waco and Austin in Texas.
Yeah.
And it is the largest active duty armored post in the United States.
Like we need an armored post there.
Yes.
Fuck that. God damn, I hate the US. Psych. This is raw crimes. I'm just kidding.
So she was last seen wearing a black shirt and purple fitness style pants.
Oh, well, you know, Aaron Dickerson, whatever, was all up in that. He was like, oh, damn.
So the fitness style pants, in one post I saw it was leggings, which I mean makes the most sense to me. She was wearing purple leggings.
She's literally like working out.
Yeah.
The last time they saw her.
Yeah, probably. And then actually later that day in the armory room where she had been working earlier.
Yeah.
Her car keys, room key, identification card, and her wallet were found in that room where she was working.
That's weird because
so they weren't with her.
At least we leave the apartment.
Yes.
And you know this. I'm always asking you 20 times, do you have the keys?
Keys?
I've never watched Friends. I've like watched a few episodes here and there, but Val told me this one time that Rachel and Monica left the apartment, and you explained it. Who said what?
I think Monica asked, "You got the keys?" But Rachel heard it as her saying, "Got the keys?" And so
Like,
they both thought so Rachel thought Monica had the keys. Monica thought Rachel had the keys, and they both didn't have the keys. And so we go through that every day.
So yeah, I asked Val, like, got the keys? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, no. Do you have the keys? And she's like, yeah. And then I asked her to pull them out because I want to see them because I'm deathly afraid of getting locked out of the apartment. This is raw crime.
So
I don't fucking know. This is my thing. You know that's my thing. This is raw crime. Saying that shit, yeah. But yes.
So all her stuff was left in that armory room, which, I mean, not really a spoiler alert, but kind of leads you to believe that she did not leave that room willingly. Because why else would she leave without all her stuff? Her phone, her keys, her wallet.
That's true. I was about to say, like, if her phone was missing, I would have been like, oh, she was just on a run. Because whenever I go on a run, I always bring my phone and, like, my AirPods or whatever you need to listen to your music.
Yeah.
But, like, if she forgot her phone and, like, the last she was seen was in leggings, and, like, I assume...
And I think wallet, too, especially.
Yeah.
Why would you leave your wallet in a place where you don't leave... It's not like a locker room.
Yeah.
It's an armory. Like, it's a gun place and shit
Oh,
like that.
shit. I thought... Oh, my God. I've had too many White Claws in one. I thought that was, like, her dorm or wherever she was staying.
No. This is where she was working that day. The armory room.
You never... Yeah.
In that building. No, you don't just leave your
Especially if you're in the military, you're very on your shit. You do not leave anything.
Why would you leave your... And again, where would you be going without your ID card? That exactly. I would assume you would need to get in somewhere else. Yeah. I don't think, like, she lived on the base, and they said later that, like, she needed her room and her ID card to get into her, like, place. So, like, she would not leave that there and just, like, again, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
I know the ROTC isn't like the army, but it's like the closest thing in the terms that I know. Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, my brother was in the ROTC. If like a single strand of hair was out of place, they'd get a B- on their assignment or whatever. like the army is on top of their crap. I've said shit too many times, so I want to say crap, you know. But like, there's no way that she would have misplaced something.
No, especially misplacing like
all
all
of her
stuff.
things.
Yeah,
Literally
exactly.
all of her things.
Yeah, no. That doesn't make any kind of sense. Even if she was just going out to her car or just going out in general, she left her car keys in there.
Yeah.
Literally, she just left empty-handed. That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
I don't think she left that room by herself. All right. So, after not hearing from her for hours and friends not actually being able to find her at the base, like they had people searching for her, Vanessa was officially reported missing. And her family was very vocal from the beginning and actually put pressure on the government and military for not being able to neither protect nor find Vanessa. And like her mother, Gloria, also found difficulty with getting answers about her daughter's case from the army, saying that she had no trust in military investigators because they refused to answer her pleas for updates.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Stating, quote, "How can you not have these answers? The irony. You talk about all these gate checks and these security checks, yet someone goes missing. This doesn't happen. And the fact that she wasn't even supposed to be working that day. She was off that day. Why did they call her in?" So the reason I put that quote in, aside from just a mom, like I'm just heartbroken for like, how could this happen?
It's the most frustrating thing.
How did this happen?
This kind of goes back to like my feeling towards my brother. Like I couldn't find him for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like just that feeling of not knowing where your especially your daughter.
Especially someone that
we can't even imagine
base.
that.
No. And someone that's supposed to at a military base. That's like saying someone went missing from a police station. Like that does not happen. That shouldn't happen, but it does.
I
It's
bet.
horrifying.
I don't know the statistic, but I bet you it's like 0 to 0.001% males missing from military bases.
There was actually one guy that went missing from this military base that they found not long ago. He's not related to this case, and I don't know his name. We can put him in the description.
Yeah.
But he was found, and they, for like a hot second, thought maybe he was related to this, but he's not. But yeah, I mean, that's just heartbreaking.
Exactly.
It is heartbreaking.
That's the whole point.
But also the fact that I haven't seen in any other article until I saw this quote that she wasn't supposed to be working that day.
Yeah.
Which is like her
That's
mom
wild.
said that. Her mom said that. Why did they call her in? Why was she working? She wasn't supposed to be working.
Yeah.
That's
mysterious.
It's weird. It's weird. And I'm not saying there's a conspiracy to get her in, to kill her, I don't think that makes sense in the context of this whole case. But it is just something that I wanted.
Raises alarms.
Yeah, it's something that I wanted to bring up because it's like that's the one and only time I saw this in all of my research, that she was not supposed to be there that day. So that's strange. So with the help of Texas Representative Sylvia Garcia and Hawaii Representative Tulsi Gabbard, and also a Latino...
Wait, who? No, that's
Yes.
wild. Was she still in the race then? Or was she out by April?
No, she was out.
Yeah.
She was out.
Okay. Well, quote, with the help of Tulsi Gabbard, I assume.
Well, I mean, still, she did help put her case out there.
Okay.
And then a Latino civil rights organization and actually numerous celebrities, notably Salma Hayek, posted. Okay. She posted a lot about Vanessa Guillén.
Yeah. She's very notable, by the way.
Yes.
If you don't know who Salma Hayek is.
She is very notable. The Guillén family were able to push for a joint investigation from the military and police into Vanessa's disappearance. So this past June, like a month ago. Barely, yeah.
It's the 3rd, so 4 days ago.
Yeah. The Army reported more than 150 people had been interviewed in relation to Vanessa's case. 150 people. And also ground and air searches were conducted with help from more than 500 soldiers, drones, helicopters, and dogs.
They have to find her at some point.
Despite all this...
Okay.
Vanessa.
People listening to this podcast. I swear to God, I don't read I look at the pictures. I don't read it. But despite all this, what,
Yes.
Val? What?
Vanessa Guillén's family have only recently received an update on her case. Yesterday, in fact. So this isn't actually yesterday when I wrote this. So this is like 3 days ago. It's something like that.
So like June 30th, July 1st.
Probably, yeah, whenever I wrote this. The day before.
C.
I don't remember.
C. Yes.
It's been a few days.
Duh.
So investigators revealed that they had found partial human remains in a shallow grave off of a highway that was 30 miles from where Vanessa had gone missing.
Holy shit.
Yes.
How did they
Fort Hood.
How did they find them? The human remains.
I'll get to it.
Please get to it
Yes.
fast.
The remains were a few feet away from actually a burn mound.
So cremation.
That investigators had found. No, they were a few feet away from it.
Well, yeah.
That investigators had found earlier in the search, though they didn't actually find the remains themselves until some workers building a fence near the site
Are you kidding me?
They noticed a foul smell, and they walked over to investigate, and then they
So
notified.
that's recent.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
And they notified authorities when they saw hair sticking out of the ground.
Holy shit. That's some horror movie shit.
Yes.
I'm getting chills down my fucking spine.
Can you imagine? You're
What
like,
are you
oh, this stinks.
What the fuck?
Can you imagine, oh, this shit stinks, and you see hair, and so they actually,
I can't. That's
authorities
God.
actually I didn't write this down, but they speculated that they think that animals had dug it up, and that's why they didn't find it earlier.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just horrifying, just absolutely horrifying.
This was a few days ago.
Yeah.
So we'll literally have an update on this story within the coming weeks.
Well, we had one today. Yeah. Well, okay. So here, so although the remains have yet to be identified, they still to this day they have not identified the remains for sure. But Vanessa's family and their attorney and investigators believe that the remains are hers due to witness accounts and evidence recovered at the scene. So, evidence.
Holy shit. I still can't get over the hairs out of the ground.
Yeah.
I'm still getting chills. This is the most chills down my spine I've ever had.
And so terrifying.
God. Oh my God.
Can you imagine seeing that? I can't.
The smell and that.
And it must have been a smell that they really noticed, because it's not like they were working right there, they were near the site.
I had, when we first moved into our house in Glen Allen, Virginia, for you non-Virginia listeners, there was a dead squirrel in the woods.
Those smell oh my
our backyards. We're in a suburban neighborhood, but our backyards are protected because they're technically wetlands. But there's a dead squirrel in the woods, so that's why we had woods, no other house or whatever. And I remember, we were, probably, 15 feet away from it. I was going to say 20, 15, I think. I'm exact. And we could smell it.
yeah.
And that's a squirrel.
That's a squirrel.
That's literally, 30 times less than a human.
Yeah.
Is
and I can tell you.
Yeah, okay.
That's not the same smell at all.
Oh, okay, hold on. It's similar.
It's
Val,
it's very similar, but it's not a human decaying smell.
Val has been around dead bodies before.
Yes, I
She's
have.
done a few murders or something. I'm just kidding. She's worked for a police department, and
I would not know human decay smells if I had done murders.
True.
Yes.
But she worked for a police department, and
For a summer.
Yeah, and she got to go to scenes and as well as see cadavers, and so she knows more than I do what a dead body smells like. So
yeah, and the worst I've ever smelled or come into contact with was a man that had died in his apartment, and he was there for like 2 weeks, and this was in Virginia, like
summer.
southern Virginia,
humid, hot,
in the summer. Yes.
And was his window open? Like, was his were his blinds open?
I don't think so.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It
doesn't
hot
matter. There were flies everywhere. There was maggots everywhere.
Yeah, one of the people puked, right? No, or they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
They had to get out.
One of the responding officers, she threw up. She threw up a couple times.
Oh my god, I would throw up.
You could smell it from the street. You didn't even have to come up to the
disgusting.
apartment. Yeah.
I know what the smell is like, but I know it's probably multiples more.
Yeah, it's like, because I don't know if I'm sensitive to that kind of stuff. Probably this example in and of itself proves that I'm not. Yeah. But like, I remember walking up to it and I was like, I don't know how to describe the smell. I really can't. And I can't like imagine it until maybe I smell it again. Like it's not something that you can bring it up. Yeah. It's not just like a gross smell. Like,
do you think if you'd never smelt it before, you would know? Like,
I think you would know instantly. Yes. I think you would know immediately. And that's like the reason that the police department had gotten the call was because, well, first of all, they didn't get the call until, the smell. Like, the reason they got the call was because people had smelled it. Like, people that lived there had smelled it. So, like, that's your number one sign. And,
oh my God, imagine
so I think they knew.
The neighbor.
There was, did I tell you when we got there, there was a lady that lived on the second floor, like above him, and she was like carrying like a laundry basket of things, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go stay at my sister's for a week or so. Like, she was like,
oh my God, I would have to move. Like, I feel like that smell stays happened. On things.
Oh, I mean, not necessarily. Honestly, who knows? I bet they can treat that apartment to make it fine. But yeah, it was rough. But once you're in it for like a minute, it kind of goes away. And then,
are you a rapper? Once you're in it for a minute, yeah.
And then like rapping. I had to go out a couple of times and then go back in.
Oh,
that's when it's the worst. That's when it's the worst. It's when you come back in. And
I bet Mr. Drake could withstand it.
And I had a face mask on with like Vaseline rubbed inside of it.
Oh, fuck that.
I had that.
Oh, Vaseline. Holy shit. I was thinking Purell. No, is it Purell?
The hand sanitizer?
Yeah, the hand sanitizer. Mm-hmm. I put that shit on my face in elementary school. 5th grade, I remember. I put that shit like the Home Alone like movie poster where he like smacks the shaving shit on his face. Yeah. I did that with Purell. Like, I just rubbed it in. And I remember like it fucking absorbed into my skin, and I could like taste it. It was just like 100% alcohol just like running through my blood in my fucking face. It was disgusting.
Well,
I don't know where I was going with that, but like smell or whatever.
Just smelling. All I could smell was Vaseline until I got in the apartment, and then that was just all.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's potent.
But oh my God, I couldn't imagine finding hairs.
And this is in Texas.
Hairs sticking out of the ground.
Oof. Fuck. That's horrifying. That's really horrifying.
I'm still getting chills.
So, like I said, it's still like they still haven't identified the remains. I checked today. I checked religiously today, all day.
We'll update as soon as we can. We'll tweet about it, and we'll definitely update it on the Instagram, like at the very bottom, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe at the top.
Or you can post a little mini update. Mini episode. I don't know. We'll see.
In one of our episodes,
whatever warrants it.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're figuring it out. We'll update you definitely on Twitter, Instagram. We'll figure it out. We'll update though.
But yeah, so since it has yet to be identified, we don't really know. But Vanessa's family actually believes that it is her. They believe that it's her remains.
You know what? I hope it is her. Not
to help them out, to get it done.
Not because I want her to be dead, but because I want her family to have closure.
But I think everyone at this point, it's horrifying to say, but I think they know she's dead. Yeah. Which is just...
Like you said, it's that after that 48 hours...
Yeah.
That's the point when shit hits the fan, I would say. Like, you can't find anything. So as long...
Yeah, so it was lucky even that they found her remains. Because like I said, in the CNN article that I saw, investigators said that, like, the reason that they think that this was brought up, like, that the reason that they smelled her or saw her or whatever the hell, like, they think that happened because of wild animals. So, like, that could have, if that didn't happen.
Shout out to my raccoon friends. Shout out to Sly Cooper. Shout out to... You don't even know Sly Cooper, do you?
Yes, I do.
Thievius raccoonus?
No, I don't know.
Sly Cooper
I
is
know the name.
the best PS2 game in the world. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for buying that for us.
I've seen it before.
It's amazing.
Okay.
I'm thinking about getting that.
So...
I'll get Sly Cooper. I'll buy a PS2 just to play Sly Cooper.
The witness accounts.
Okay.
Witness accounts.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Holy shit. If you've been listening this long, thank you for staying for 2 hours.
As we talk about nonsense. Well, no. We talk about good things. But anyways, okay. We're not going to talk about it. Anyways,
What'd you get on your bowling score the last time? That's not nonsense, is it?
All right, witness and evidence stuff.
Yes.
So there was actually a huge break in the case.
Today.
No. Oh. I don't know. This was when I wrote it before.
Okay, the big break in the case was knowing the sergeant's name, which was...
Today.
Say it again before I fuck it up.
David Robinson.
Aaron David Robinson.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, a while ago, like a few days ago, not a while ago, literally a few days ago, witnesses saw a man struggling with a heavy-duty transport case in a car, and I have attached a picture to it because I did not know what a transport case was.
Oh, my...
And that's actually the same brand. It's like a heavy-duty... The brand is Pelican.
Holy shit. Is that, like, big enough to put a body in?
I don't think so.
Okay. That looks like a toolbox to me. That's why.
Yeah, it's like a big cooler toolbox thing. I don't know. Maybe they make them big. I don't know. Either way,
he was struggling with it.
Either way, he was struggling with it.
Yeah.
And that was the quote used, struggling.
Yeah.
And it was in a car. Not long after Vanessa had gone missing, and actually the lid of a similar case was recovered from that same burn site.
The lid?
Yes. The lid of like a case, like either exactly like that or a lid that would fit it, or just a lid of a transport case.
It literally has to be connected. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, it has to be.
There's no fucking way.
Especially because witnesses were like, oh yeah, this happened after she had gone missing. Like, you don't connect that unless you know that it, you know.
Also, shout out to those people who know what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, it was a 2015 Pelican case, matte black to be honest, special edition, 4.299% black, whatever. But like, shout out to those people who knew it.
Yes, those witnesses were like, because again, like anyone could have just not taken account of that, and that would have been the end of that.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, just like walking around, driving around, how much do you pick up and how much do you retain?
You don't, unless you know what you're looking for, like unless you follow a case.
Like the other day, we saw a car, 17th Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. It's a one-way. We saw a car go the opposite way of the one-way.
Yeah, he turned right into it, and it was like going like down.
That's something that sticks. That would stick for a month or two.
But then,
like, I'd forget about it.
But then another car went that one way.
Another car. No, that was so fucking stupid. Like, so like the first car turns, and we're like, idiot. And then another car turns, and Val was like, oh my god.
And he like sped past him.
Yeah, he sped past him, but I was like, I was like, oh my God, those cars just about hit. And I was talking about the first car. I was like, what an idiot. Like, he just about made that accident happen. But the other car.
We walk like half a block later and you're like, oh my God.
Oh, he was going the opposite way too. Like, they were both going the wrong way.
Just realized it. Like,
like, Jesus Christ. Like, but that's something that would stick out.
Yeah.
Compared to just average everyday things. So, like, him struggling with that case.
That's something out of the normal. But, like, someone just struggling to get a case in is nothing you'd be like, that's fucking weird.
That's something that's, I would say, like, that's in the middle. That's something that you would remember a little bit. Just because, like, why would someone be struggling with a case to get in their car?
Yeah, maybe. But, I don't know. I guess, yeah, if it's a guy. But, like, I don't know. I could make that case for just... Like, I could be struggling. Like, you could struggle with something. Like, it could be a tool. It could be a toolbox.
How dare you? I'm strong as fuck. I lift weights. How dare you? I'm just kidding. But it's especially, like, just I want to just give another shout out to those people the witnesses that caught on to that, because that helps out a lot. But I want to know, like, important. Why was the top there?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and that's the only thing like, not the only thing they recovered, but from that burn site, they've only so far disclosed that they recovered like a top to a kind of a heavy duty case like that. Yeah. So a few hours after investigators found those human remains, which they actually say are 99.9% of Vanessa's remains. Investigators literally said that.
Thank God.
So I think at this point it's fair to say that
we'll still give the update, but yeah, thank God that
it most likely
there's some closure to this.
Yeah, horrifying as it is.
Yeah.
So a few hours after they found those, a suspect in the case committed suicide. So.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So in the early morning on Wednesday, police and military personnel.
When? This Wednesday?
Wednesday, hold
like
on.
First, second?
Maybe. No, well, hold on. It's like, okay, here we go.
This is a Raw Crimes official research.
Police
and military person?
Yeah, I think it had to. Yeah. It
was this past Wednesday, right?
It was this.
It was 2 days ago, literally.
Yeah. It had to be.
So the 1st of
If
July.
If it's not, we'll update it and we'll let you know. So yeah, in the early morning on Wednesday, police and military personnel approached the unidentified soldier. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. Give me 1 second.
We must give you...
I have to add something to it.
We must give you the most up-to-date info ever. Well, I'll tell you one thing. While Val's updating that, I recently dropped $3,000 on a camera that I'm hoping to be able to film these podcasts with. It's the Sony A7 III. It's got a fantastic lens to it. We were going to record this one, but yesterday we had ourselves a day and it was exhausting. And today we were tired, sore, and we made that whole Mediterranean dish. Just wanted to relax, but the only contingency with the A7 III recording is that it only records for some reason Sony only records up to 30 minutes. I think I found a way to mitigate that and get around it, but we need to test it out. So we do have a YouTube channel. It's Raw Crimes on YouTube. I've searched it myself a few times. But our channel doesn't show up. A few of the videos will show up. They're just like white with a few red squares and like pictures of the case. You'd definitely be able to see it. We'll figure it out. The plan is like after, I'd say 10 episodes, we'll get it down, right, Val?
Yes.
About 10 episodes.
We'll figure it out.
But we really want to get stuff on YouTube so you can see how this whole process how this whole process works out, how everything's made. So we're just working on the YouTube channel right now, but by episode 10 we should have all our ducks in order.
All right, I got the picture out that I wanted to have you look at while I was talking about this.
Okay.
So
I'm looking at it.
yes. So they approached the unidentified soldier, which we have since identified as Aaron David Robinson.
Yeah.
And he was like the main suspect in the case. And he had actually recently left his post from the base. He had left his post from the base.
Yeah.
So he literally abandoned his position.
Yeah. Very suspect.
Yes, that's not a thing most soldiers do. Like they don't just walk
especially
off.
in the U.S. It's not like in a high risk zone where they could potentially lose their fucking life.
Yeah, no, you don't just walk off. And he when he was approached by police and military personnel so actually in that picture that I have, this was the place that they had approached him at. So it was like it's like like kind of a busy street ish. Like it was 100% in the public. Like he was like out and about.
Holy shit. Did he shoot himself while they were coming towards him?
They approached him and he pulled out a gun and shot himself.
Fuck him! He's culprit. Fucking cunt!
Yes, he shot himself in front of police and everyone.
He did it. This is Luke Chambers on Raw Crimes. He officially did it. That fucking bitch. Holy shit.
You don't, yeah.
Holy shit.
You don't do that.
You do not shoot yourself. You do not,
if you have
guilty.
nothing to do, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Fuck you. What is it? Is it Aaron?
Aaron.
Fuck you, Aaron Dickinson.
David Robinson.
I'm sorry, Aaron Dickinson, who's listening to this. I love you. Aaron. What?
David Robinson.
Aaron David Robinson.
Yes.
Fuck you. You deserve to rot in hell.
Yes.
That's my official words for you.
He definitely does.
God, you fucking bitch. It's on the Instagram. The picture's
we'll
on
it.
there. The white.
I actually found this on like Reddit or some like random place, and that's why I had to like send it over to myself because I found it on my phone and I had like saved it on my phone God. And I had to send it to my laptop.
Holy shit. The white pin is literally where he shot himself, which is in the street. Like either in the middle or the side of the street, but he literally when they were approaching
he was like
him
walking down the street. Yeah.
When they were approaching him, he knew what was coming. So he pulled out his pistol, cowardly shot himself
after abandoning his base, like after abandoning his post. Like he literally just Holy I think that
shit.
says
what
says it all.
Oh my god, I'm pissed.
I think he knew. I 100% think he was involved. Like and also, I mean, it's not just us saying this. Like he literally was the number one suspect. Like it's not like we're just like hypothesizing.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We need to we need to have like a disclaimer or something. Like these are all opinions, but like I firmly believe he killed her.
Yeah.
I firmly believe because there's
and if he didn't, he had something to do with it.
Because there's no reason you would kill yourself. There's no fucking reason.
Like in that way.
Piece of shit.
In that way, yeah.
God
with police closing in on you. Because that's when you know you're caught. That's when you know you're caught. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the fact that they were closing in on him, like that again says more about it.
You're not a fucking CIA spy about to get closed in by some other foreign agency. I don't fucking care. You fucking coward. Fuck you, Aaron.
Yeah.
You did it.
Definitely took the cowardly way out.
I'm pissed. Holy shit. Like you see me right now. Holy shit. What a coward. A fucking coward.
Definitely 100% coward.
Creep, coward. Oh my god. I'm
Murderer. Yeah.
Number one.
Most likely. Probably.
My hands are sweating right now.
I don't know. Because again, like I said, like 10 seconds ago, this isn't just us. Like, this was the FBI and the fucking police and the military criminal investigations division closing in on this guy. Like, they knew what they were doing. Like, it wasn't just some dude that they were approaching. It wasn't someone they were trying to find. Yeah, exactly. Like they knew what they were doing.
And he knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah.
We will. Okay.
He knew what was in stock for him if
Yeah.
he had done it.
To close this story up, I would say we will update once this case is closed. You've heard our opinions. Me, myself, I believe Aaron did it. Hello?
So like a paragraph.
Oh, shit. Never mind. Hold up. Go. My bad.
Well, I just wanted to finish with a couple of things about Vanessa's family and stuff. So again, like we said, we don't know how much closure we'll be able to get because he killed himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I think I'll butt in here. I think sorry, I burped. If the DNA turns out to be Vanessa, I'm 100% fuck it. I'm going all out. I'm 100% sure it was Aaron. Because why else would he commit suicide?
I think logically that's the right decision
Holy
to
shit,
make.
that is a crazy case.
Yeah.
And I hope.
And it's unfolding like right now.
Oh my God. Again, I said this in the first one, but I also hope that in this case that the remains are hers, so that there is closure for the family. Of course, the best outcome possible would be like she's still alive and she shows up, but I don't think so. Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like that's the case.
God, I just want to get out of this chair and just like run around and like punch a hole through the window. I would never do that. I'm Kyle.
Punching through drywall.
Yo, so many people on Call of Duty, like when Kyle's name was on Call of Duty was Kyle.
His brother. My
brother Kyle. When his name was that on Call of Duty, like every match, people would be like, "Yo, Kyle, how many drywalls have you punched?" Or like, "How many monsters have you drank so far?"
This was a thing on Twitter for a while.
It's so good. But
all right.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna punch a hole.
We're gonna finish this thing out. We're gonna get through it. So the family of Vanessa Guillén reportedly knew the suspect. With her sister, I watched a press conference that they did.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was heartbreaking. It was so hard to listen to them. Like it was so hard. Her sister saying that she had met him earlier. She had actually met him.
Oh my God.
Not knowing that he may have had something to do with her sister's disappearance. So he was like acting like, hey, like let me help you guys. Like let me
fuck you.
Yeah. Like she had no idea that he had anything to do with her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm pulling my hair out right now. This is stressing me out.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all there is so far about this case.
We'll update you.
Since it is still a developing story due to it being actually like so recent, but there is some new information as of today that I have not mentioned. That I have not mentioned yet.
I don't know anything. Tell me.
It'll infuriate you.
I'm going to go pee very furiously when you tell me.
It'll infuriate you.
I've been drinking, that's why. Tell me.
It'll infuriate you. Okay. So the attorney to the Guillén family, Natalie Kawam, I'm pretty sure. I did not look up how to pronounce her last name. I totally meant to, but I completely forgot. I'm pretty sure it's Kawam.
It's fine.
What are you?
I dropped the mic stand into tell me. Just tell me.
Listen. Okay, so she actually stated that due to the information that they had received from Army investigators, so from an investigation, like a legit investigation into the case, Vanessa was bludgeoned to death with a hammer in the same armory room where she had been working that day. And that's the place where her stuff was found in. So the investigation,
Are you fucking kidding me?
The investigation concluded that she was bludgeoned to death with a hammer in that very same room. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. So like I said, she didn't leave that room.
How did they figure that out? Like bloodstains?
I don't know.
Or they found the hammer?
I don't know. The army has been very like hush hush about their investigation, but
Fuck
they
the
did.
army.
But they
Holy shit, I'm
released.
done. I
But
quit.
they released that. But they released that. They were trying to keep it closed until they had something to say. So she also said the lawyer, Natalie Kawam, also told the public that investigators had informed her that Aaron David Robinson.
The guy who committed suicide on the road.
Yes.
Piece of shit.
He had asked a woman that he was involved with to help him get rid of Vanessa's body after he had killed her.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And this is more than likely Cecily Ann Aguilar, the ex-wife of a former Fort Hood soldier. So she was involved with a Fort Hood soldier, a wife, who had been arrested in relation to this case earlier this week. She was arrested. She's in custody right now. She was arrested earlier in relation to this case.
I was literally... So I put the mic on the stand because I thought that when Val said I was going to get infuriated...
Infuriated.
When I was going to get mad about this, that I was going to, like, run... I thought I was literally going to run around and scream. But I am so fucking mad about this that I'm just completely calm. And that's even more terrifying.
So that's what they have.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What Army investigators...
Iris is typing something in the Google Doc.
Oh, yes, she is. So what Army investigators have told us, like, through their lawyer, through the Guillén's family lawyer, was that she was attacked in that armory room where she was working.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is...
She was killed there.
Oh, my God.
She was killed there, and she was carried out, and she had been moved into the space where she had been found, into that hole in the ground where she was found.
Where her hair was sticking out of the fucking ground.
Yeah, where her hair was sticking out, by Robinson, and most likely they allege to be this woman that Robinson was involved with, which is most likely Cecily Ann Aguilar. Again, not sure, but she was arrested. Like she was arrested, yeah, in relation to this case.
I mean, oh my God, my gut and everything goes towards Aaron, but
Yeah.
I think like we'll update you on Aaron, but we'll update you on that chick as well.
Yeah, I mean she's in custody.
Yeah.
And she was arrested before I had even found out about, like, before they named the soldier, before they named Aaron.
Yeah.
I knew she was in custody. I had seen reports. So I mean, again, like we said numerous times, like this is still a developing case.
And it's all over Twitter as well.
Yeah.
If you guys are on Twitter, if you follow us on Twitter, please, I beg you. I'm just kidding, but it's all over Twitter. You'll see that, and you've heard the case here. We'll update you as well on our Instagram and Twitter at @raw_crimes. You're gonna say something, Val?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say we're pretty much left to wait until investigators identify the remains.
Yeah.
Because that's all we're waiting for is the identification.
If it is, it's a happy and sad ending.
The only good thing about it is that we know that her pain is over. Whatever she had to go through, we know it's over, and that we'll know, how she died, and that we'll be able to get justice for her. That's it.
Jesus, these were intense cases.
Yeah. I really wanted to cover the Vanessa case and the Tonee case because I came across it and it's like nothing since January. Nothing about her Tonee.
Yeah.
And nothing. Like, I mean, now thank God, but also like not that Vanessa's case is getting I think it's going to be solved in like a couple of weeks, but the way that it's happening is just, it's heartbreaking. And like, I really wanted to bring attention to these cases, especially Tonee's case too, because like, it really seems, and especially with Vanessa's case too, like both of these cases, it just hinges on someone knowing something.
Yeah.
It's like there's someone, that's the only missing puzzle piece. So I wanted to get that out there, and
Jesus, we've heard 2 murder cases so far, and
Mostly, yeah.
well, yeah, the first 2 episodes. This is the 3rd, but
Yeah.
those 2, like, it's not as infuriating because you know that there's some closure there, like you know that they're gone,
Yeah.
whatever. But I mean, this one is just, I want to get up and just fucking run around, like just.
Yeah, it's almost worse because.
There's no closure.
Yeah, and with the case of Tonee, it's just it's heartbreaking if she was going through depression, because like I think most people can relate to what it feels like to just be in a pit, you know, like you just and like she could have been there, and I don't know, it's so sad. And if she ended her life, that's just horrifying. And if she was murdered, that's scary, because it seems like she was just going about her day, like her routine. And
I mean, I hope there's closure in the future, because there are so many cases that don't go solved.
There's been cases that are like 100 years old and they're still not solved, like, so it's.
And that happened in 2019, 2020?
2020, because it was
around the cusp.
Well, it was December 30th and January.
It's just insane that shit still happens. You know, people talk about all the technology, all the resources that we have to get those cases solved and to prevent those cases from happening. Yeah. It's just insane. But I mean, like I've said so many times throughout, we'll update everyone. We'll update everyone on both cases, Tonee and Vanessa's case.
Hopefully Tonee's. I know Vanessa's is going to get updated in the next few days. They can't take that long to... Yeah. They can't take that long to identify Vanessa's remains. I mean, I hope not, but...
I mean, we'll update even if they're not Vanessa's remains.
Yeah.
But the whole Tonee situation, just the fact that nothing has come up since January, pretty much. That's frightening on its own, just because we don't know if anything will come up. But we'll be sure to follow up if anything comes out. Yeah, we'll let you guys know. Yeah, on our handles are raw. Oh my god, at raw_crimes on Instagram and Twitter. And you can also email us at officialrawcrimes@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Just let us know. Like, we'd love to hear from you. Yeah. It'd be really cool. if you guys want to hear stuff, if you guys don't like what we're doing, if you guys like what we're doing, whatever, we just love to hear from you. Anything, any suggestions. Yeah. We just want to provide some great content for you guys, as well as provide stories to get them out there. Stories that we feel that need a voice. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys listening. Have a good one. This is Luke from Raw Crimes. Raw Crimes. And Valerie from Raw Crimes. Raw Crimes. Thank you guys for listening. Bye. Bye.